What's up, Dallas? What's up, Dallas? What's up, Dallas? What's going on? What's cracker lacking? Welcome back. Random show settings with your host, Agostino Zinga. I hope you're doing well wherever this live stream may find you. I hope you are doing swimmingly. I really do hope you are. How am I? All good, all things considered. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I know it's been a while. I know it's been a long time. I know I've been missing. I know I've been MIA. I do apologize, but you know, real life comes in the way. To be honest, I haven't really been partying, so it's not like I've been out raving. I've just been at home, really working, being busy, doing loads of life admin shit. So that explains some of my time away. But I'm back in the hot seat now, ready to stream, ready to roll, ready to talk about the BAPA stuff. Brendan is back in the hot seat. Back on the pods after taking some time away to look after his baby girl, who's now, fortunately, according to him, well enough to go back home and in much better spirits, much better health. So that's good to hear. Some JRE stuff has happened we can talk about, and some other bits and bobs, as you can see via the itinerary that's listed on the thumbnail and listed in the description. So don't ask me, oh, what are you going to be talking about? Have we missed this bit? Blah, 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 blah. Read the thumbnail, read the description, all right, and see where we're at. And we're going to go through every single topic bit by bit, cross them off as we continue. I've seen some people mention they actually do prefer it when I put the list of the topics on the thumbnail, because I guess people don't read descriptions. I know I do, but I'm a bit of a geek and I'm an addict of YouTube. I click descriptions, but I think most people don't actually read descriptions. So I'm going to just put I'm just going to copy and paste what I usually write in the description in the thumbnail, so that if you're going to take a quick glance, you can see it and everything's fine. But all topics we're going to address in the description and in the thumbnail. Those are the main topics, and we got some other things we're going to be talking about on top of that, but the main topics we're going to be running through are in the description. The main topics we're running through are in the description. Big up everybody. I appreciate you all. It's been nothing but a chore. No, it's never a chore, actually. I do appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining me. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Big up the stream chat. Thank you for locking in. I see you all there. Andrew Taint, Griffin Sizemore, Andy Ward, Koila, my guy, Abby Martinez, Uche, my G, what's good? Jesse L, NJ Ranger, my G, Petty King Kango Ju. Hopefully that's how you say your name. Apologies if that's not the way. Alexander Martin, Young Old Vibes, what's good? Lenny Gambino, Ski Tox, the Fuss, Brandon, what's happening? Boba Fett, KP, everybody in the stream chat, I appreciate you all. Thank you for joining me. Big up my guy Crash, of course, as well. I see you there. AL Me, big up you as well. Big up Fifth Keith, I see you there. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Before we start, quickly want to plug my Patreon. I just uploaded a new episode. I know I missed a week because I've been already doing shit, but please check out my Patreon if you want to join there. It's only $1 subscription starts from, and I do everything there, the same thing. So I cover all the fucking tiers, so just join $1. You have to join the higher tiers, but basically at patreon.com/Agostino, new post just went out where I react to BAPA announcement that he's back, and basically announcing, you know, that he thanks everybody for the love. So if you want to check that out, please do. It's available now on my Patreon. Brendan Shaw thanks the fans for all the love and support. So check that out. Just uploaded recently on the Patreon. New episodes will be uploaded throughout the entirety of the week. Join and have access to all of the Patreon episodes from only $1 per month. Only $1 per month. You get access to all the episodes on there. So make sure you check out the Patreon. Bonus episodes available on the Blood Club Patreon. Big up NJ Ranger. What you saying?
Holy shit, I predicted this. Evil as. Never a pleasure, always a chore.
Yeah, I'm turning on you guys. I'm gonna be like academics. Next stream, I'm gonna be on here telling you guys to suck my dick. I'm gonna be like academic. I'm gonna tell you guys, suck my dick, man. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna do a 7-hour podcast on trainers. I'm gonna do a 10-hour podcast on Berghain. Fuck Brendan. Fuck you guys. Suck my dick. SMD, right? Honestly, I can't wait to get to that stage. I can't wait to get to that stage of a YouTuber where I just start telling my fans to go fuck themselves. I can't wait to get to the stage as a YouTuber where I'm sitting in my big streaming chair like that. I'm in my streaming chair like I'm fucking Kim Jong Un on the throne, right? And I'm just telling you guys to suck my dick, get fucked. Who are you? I just start fucking spraying money all over the fucking air and stuff. I start wiping my ass. I get like because obviously my ass is big, so I have to get like a £50 note because they're a bit thicker, they're a bit wide. So I have to get a £50 note. I'll get two of them, and you know, like you're rolling two bits of paper of toilet paper. I have to get two £50 notes and put them side to side so I can get them in my buttocks because my bum's big, so it doesn't disappear. So I'll wipe it in there and then I'll show it to the camera like Bert Kreischer. I'll be like, ha 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 ha. I can't wait to get to that level where I'm just fucking, I don't know, just doing nonsense. You know what I mean? Just being belligerent, being a dickhead, you know? Just going on the Discord and just banning people randomly. Just banning people. Just banning. Click, ban, ban. Like, you know, making everybody refer to me as your highness. I can't wait to get that level. I can't wait to be a dickhead. I can't wait. I can't wait to be a dickhead. Like, no, actually, you guys don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Just being very curt, very rude and obstinate. I can't wait to be a dick. I can't wait to be a fucking dickhead. Oh, I can't wait to fucking get rid of this humble, chilled, reasonable, level-headed shtick that I got going on here. Fuck all that shit. I want to be fucking combative, aggressive, like, I can't wait. I can't wait to be a wanker. A proper wanker. That's what I want to be. I want to be a proper wanker. Oh, Agostino's changed. He's a wanker. I'll be like, yeah, duh. I'm rich now. I can't wait to be a wanker. I can't wait. Oh, I'm going to be such a piece of shit. Anyway. Booth McGee, just add on 200 extra pounds and you've got it. Thank you. You see what I mean? Look how rude you guys are to me in the chat. What'd I do to you? What'd I do to you, Booth McGee? What'd I do to you? What did I ever do to you? Look how rude you guys are to me in the chat. Look at the abuse I get from you guys. Just earlier in the fucking Taz stream, I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to be a girl for one day. All I do is put on a wig. And Josie's in the chat that says, you'll need more than just a wig. She said, I'll need more than just a wig to pass as a girl. Can you imagine how rude that is? I'll need more than just a wig. Like, so rude. Oh, big up Josie, big up Josie. Anyway, whatever. Fuck Josie, big up Josie, fuck Josie, big up Josie. Moving on. So, join the Patreon. The link is, there's no link, but you know what the URL is. It's patreon.com/Agostino, patreon.com/Agostino, spelt that way. You know how to spell it. Join, only $1 or £1 per month. You get access to all my fucking Patreon. And obviously the latest one is about Brendan. Easy does it. Cool. So, let's do this. Let's just get straight into the fucking pièce de résistance, bro. Let's get straight into the pièce de résistance. Let's not even run around wasting time. Let's get straight into the pièce de fucking résistance. Allegedly, Brendan Schaub has announced he's quitting stand-up comedy. Yes, you guessed it. Brendan has announced he's quitting stand-up comedy. Wow. Now, he didn't really say that. What he actually said is that he's going to quit touring as much as he was before. Because he doesn't, he's not selling as many tickets, not many clubs are booking him, blah, 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 blah. But he didn't actually say he's quitting stand-up. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, a lot of fake news. Obviously, you man and you gal them come to me for the real news, right? You come to me for the real news. You come to me for the realness, right? This is AZCNN, whatever, right? This is AZN or whatever, right? Or AZNN, Agostino Zinger News Network. So you come to me for the facts and the real news. So he never said he's quitting stand-up. He said he's quitting touring. That's what he said. He's quitting touring. But some people are taking it as far as saying that if he's saying he's quitting touring, most likely he's saying he's quitting stand-up. But he didn't actually say that. Get it? Cool. We're going to watch the clip because I clipped it up, right? Because, I'm a hard worker. So I decided to clip up the show and listen to it myself, right? I actually listened to it so I could clip this up and give you the actual information of what actually happened. Big up Crash. Appreciate you, brother.
RIP to BAPA's CA Rare. Great to see you back doing your thing. Thanks for keeping us all alive with your brilliance, AZ. Don't ever hesitate to drop the ban hammer.
Yeah, you know, and you know who I'm looking at. I'm looking at everybody in this stream that doesn't like this stream. They're gonna get the ban hammer. Crashers gave me the permission. Crashers said, "Do what you want, Ag. It's your world. You're the boss, Ag. You know, do what you want. You're the Lord Supreme. Bow down to you, Allah. Hallelujah." Crashers told me I can do what I want. So if you haven't liked the stream, because I've got new analytics, I've got this new tool, I've got this new plugin, right, that I just invented, where you can kind of see which viewer hasn't liked the stream. So when I see you haven't liked the stream, don't be surprised if you can't see your chat come up in the stream, because I'm going to be banning you on the sly. So if you don't like the stream, you're going to get banned. That's what Crash said. It's not my fault. Blame Crash. Anyway, big up Crash. Appreciate you. So let's watch the whole video clip of Brendan announcing he's quitting stand-up comedy, which he didn't really say, but this is what has been the talk of the town, and people have been going crazy about it online. So let's hear what BAPA had to say on his first episode back on the Schaub show since his daughter was taken ill, had to get emergency surgery. She's now alive and well. I don't know if that sounds weird, but she's well and healthy and back home now. So everything is good over there. So all our prayers and well wishes, were good and went a long way. Nice to see that. And now he's announcing some changes in the way he approaches comedy. Let's play the clip.
My everything, comments, tech, everything about support for you. So yeah. So much love.
Yeah, tons. So I appreciate you guys. I had to cancel Austin and Nashville. And usually I hate doing that stuff. It happens, but I think this time I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I gotta be home more. I'm gonna pull back from touring so much, and I just gotta be home, man. I can't miss Tigers games. Can't miss my Basti growing up, baby girl. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired, man. I'm freaking tired. I've been hustling for over 12 years now. Not that I'm gonna stop doing the pods, but as far as the playing life and stuff like that, I gotta chill out. I can do spots in LA, I can do local, SoCal, NorCal, but going international or going across the freaking United States ain't happening right now. So I'm gonna take a break from that and just focus on family and do my thing, man. Do my thing. So yeah, let's get into it. Enough of that.
So let's start off with the positives. On paper, this is actually the smartest decision he's ever made. The smartest call, the most astute decision he's ever made in his career was to quit on his own terms. Because I feel like in life, I think I've mentioned it before in this stream and other streams, one of my biggest fears of being a consummate party boy was having the party cancel me, was having the party tell me it's enough. I always wanted to be the person that hung up my party hat, but didn't have the party tell me it's over, because that hurts in another type of way. So when you're able to call your own shots and say, hey, I've had enough, it's okay. I also think in general in society, we kind of demonize or look down upon people who quit, but I feel like there's a lot of honor, there's a lot of like respect, there's a lot of like grace, there's a lot of humility when you decide to quit something. I think maybe it's a consequence of the hustle culture we have now, where everybody wants to be, I don't know, killing it and beast and doing all this sort of nonsense. But sometimes you can do something to a good level, but sometimes it could just not be the thing for you long term. And it's okay to say, hey, I want to quit doing this and do something else. When you quit one thing, it doesn't mean you quit life. It just means you quit that particular thing. So no problem whatsoever. Especially given the evidence that we've seen, courtesy of the Fire and the Kids subreddit people, so big up them for keeping an eye on that sort of stuff. But they're the ones that have been keeping an eye on these ticket sales and whatever it may be. And for the longest time, maybe for the last 18 months more so, you've seen a real steep decline in Brendan's ability to sell tickets. So the evidence was there, proof in black and white that he's not as big as a draw as he was in the past. We don't know what the reasons are. We can speculate later on, but in terms of the data, it's fairly evident that he's just not selling enough tickets. And probably at this stage of his career, he's probably spending way more money going to these gigs, you know, putting his brother up in the hotel, himself in the hotel, flights there, food there, than he is actually making when he's going to perform. So it doesn't make any economical sense. And most likely at this stage of his career, with the amount of podcasts he's got, he's probably making way more money on pods than he is doing stand-up. And that was never the case. If you remember early episodes of the podcast, he would always brag about how much money they were making on the road, doing stand-up, doing weekends, whatever, right? They'd make quite a bit of money doing that because of the early podcast fame and, you know, the unknown nature of his comedy level in general. That's obviously gone now and it's changed. So congrats, you know, that's a good thing, I guess. Then obviously the focus on the family. Even though I think it comes from a weird place and it isn't the most sincere and is a little bit manipulative and it's almost using your family as a human shield, the fact that he's still got to this place is a good thing. The fact that he's now decided, hey, I'm a family man, I'm putting my family first, and all that malarkey is a good thing. I've always been confused on the stream about why. Yeah, big up Stinger Goo, appreciate you.
Long live the gringo poppy.
We're gonna watch it again. Actually, next stream we're gonna watch it again in 4. If you guys keep playing games and keep disrespecting Brendan Schaub's stand-up career, I'm gonna play Gringo Pappy in 4 from the start to the end, and we're gonna be pausing that bitch all the way, laughing and analyzing the jokes. So if you disrespect Brendan Schaub's stand-up special one more time, Stinger Goo, you included, I'm gonna play that bad boy from the beginning to the end. We're gonna have a celebration stream. We're all gonna get punished. I'm gonna get punished. You're gonna get punished. Everybody's gonna get punished. Okay? Don't disrespect the Gringo Pappy. Gringo Pappy available now on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Anyway, I think it's a great thing that he's got to this point now where he's focusing more on his family. No matter how it happened, I think it's a good thing. Even though I don't think it's the most sincere thing in the world, it's a great thing that's happening right now. I love it. It's good. And then lastly, I'm going to say, because the reviews have been so bad for his stand-up comedy, and because it doesn't look like he's the most inquisitive, curious, creative guy in the world when it comes to his writing and stand-up, it's probably for the best that he hangs it up for now. Because he was never going to get any better with time. This idea that he had to get to the magical 10-year mark before things turned was really a misnomer for me. Because I feel like you have to be at least good or know what you're doing bad. Well, know what you're doing badly in order to improve, right? That's how you kind of have to be. Maybe you're not going to be great, but if you kind of know why you're shit, it can kind of help you get better. But the fact that he never actually could understand why he was terrible, or he never even agreed that his specials were bad, he thought they were awesome. There's that story, according to BGL, again, big up BGL, may your spirit fucking remain true. There was a story that BGL told on The Fire and the Kid that allegedly Brendan thought that Gringo Pappy would be his ticket to doing theatres. Do you remember that? Brendan actually thought the Gringo Pappy would be his ticket to do theatres. That would be the special people would see and be like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. Let's book him for a theatre tour. Let's book him internationally. He actually thought that. And you have to also remember, the Gringo Pappy was an hour long. The Gringo Pappy was an hour long and it was edited down to 30 minutes. So that's the best 30 from that hour. So can you imagine what that hour was, the rest of the hour was like? So it's probably a good thing that he decided to quit, because stand-up I don't think was ever for him, unfortunately, in the conventional sense. Standing in front of a stage, in front of a microphone, telling jokes, it's never going to be for him. So the fact that he's given up and quit it, I think is a good thing. Negatives now. Let's move on to our negatives and let's do a little bit of trashing. We have to blame Joe Rogan for this, innit? Partly. In one way, I think if you're Rogan and you have the power and influence and the platform that he has, I think every friend should do what Rogan has done for his friends. Give your friends a platform to showcase their talents, to talk, to spread their message, to touch millions of people, and to change their lives. Because I think personally for me, this is my own opinion and own interpretation. Don't kill me for this. But I feel like Rogan would much rather have people come on his podcast, get loads of subscribers and listeners. Big up Ricky Pitcher, appreciate you, brother.
Shouts out to his family.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big up. Shout out to his family. If you know that meme, you know the meme. Shout out to his that's very appropriate. Shout out to his family. Honestly, you guys are cold. His daughter just got back from hospital, man. You guys need to chill. Because you guys were, and by the way, you guys were giving it to me in the comments. So appreciate everyone for being honest with me in the comments regarding me reacting to Brendan Schaub's post when he was crying and whatever about his kid. You guys were giving it to me. I got some pretty scathing comments in there. People were attacking me. You're attacking me. It's like, okay, fair play. You know, not the most tasteful video in the world from me, but you know, it is what it is. We move. So, I think personally, Rogan would much rather have people on his pod as guests and help them boost their podcast than he would to lend them money. I think the money thing, I think you guys are evident. I think you guys also know when you lend your friends money, it kind of changes the relationship forever. It's hard to go back on it. There's a quote going around of Gayle King, bit of a donut, don't get me wrong. She's not the most smartest cookie out there, but she made a comment about how she was dating this one guy and he asked her to lend her money to pay for his child support. And she said, you know, I lent him the money, he paid it back on time, but she could never look at him the same way. And it's like, yeah, of course. Obviously, she's dating this guy, so it's a completely different dynamic. But lending money to people is always a bit awkward. So I think when you're Rogan and you're as rich as he is, there's always people asking you for money. But I feel like Rogan would much rather give people an opportunity and have them on his pod, let them get quote unquote famous so they can make their own money as opposed to lend them money. So if you're Rogan, it's great to have all your friends on your pod, boost them, whatever. The issue is for every Andrew Schultz, there's a Brendan Schaub. Or maybe there's more Brendan Schaubs than Andrew Schultz's, where Andrew Schultz, you know, like him or not, like his comedy or not, or his personality or his podcast, put that to one side. Andrew clearly had a plan in mind when he wormed his way into Rogan's circle. He knew what he was doing. I still maintain, I don't care what you guys say. I know he's annoying. I know he can get under your skin. But Andrew Schultz's original first performance or first appearance, actually, on the JRE was maybe the best debut of any comedian. He came there on fire. He really wanted to impress. He wanted to be funny. He kind of showcased all of his kind of attributes and skills and shit. And that basically launched his career. You know, obviously Charlemagne helped and shit, but that Rogan association definitely helped. Brendan, on the other hand, he took everything from Rogan's platform, only took from that relationship, and didn't do any work internally or on his own career professionally to really get to the next level. He took it all for granted. That's the crazy thing about Brendan. He took it all for granted. He took the Brett Rogan friendship and the platform and introduction and the signal boost for granted, and he never made any effort to improve as a podcaster, as a host, as a stand-up comedian, as a content creator. He did nothing. And I think that was his biggest crime. That's his biggest crime. He didn't take advantage of the fucking golden ticket, the Willy Wonka golden ticket he was given by Rogan. He never took advantage of it. So that's probably something that's not going to sit right with him. That's why he has to quit stand-up comedy, because he never took advantage of it. Because I don't think it's a bad thing to be Rogan and give this guy a chance because he's your friend. But I also think when you're Rogan and you complain about Hollywood and you complain about the gatekeepers, but then you also platform Brendan Schaub, who's maybe one of the least deserving people of that kind of level of success ever, it kind of makes you look a bit wild. You know, you can't really complain about gatekeepers and, you know, all this malarkey when really you platform some of the most terrible, least comedic, least funny, less entertaining people ever. It doesn't make any sense in that regard. Another side of it also, BAPA had to let it get to this point for him to quit. He had to let it get to this point to quit. He had to go fucking hell to the leather, the career absolutely on its last legs for him to quit. And still, he didn't even quit with grace. he still had to kind of use his family as a human shield, his kids as a human shield, his daughter, baby daughter that just came off a fucking, I don't know, life support or whatever, you know, operating table out there in the hospital. He couldn't even say, hey, I tried the fucking stand-up comedy thing. It wasn't for me, hasn't necessarily panned out the way I hoped it would, maybe being a bit self-deprecating. As you can tell by the IMDb scores, people aren't really too fond of what I'm doing out there, blah, 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 whatever. Nah, he had to let it get to this point for it to quit, and I don't think he needed to. I think there's a situation and there's a scenario where Brendan could actually make stand-up comedy work. And how did he make it work? Just doing it via T-Fat-K. I never understood why he actually tried to pursue a career as a legit stand-up comic anyway. He could have easily done a situation where he does live shows under the T-Fat-K banner, where he does little improv sessions like he used to do before, or little kind of spoken word, kind of manifesto type things, whatever. It's not spoken word, but he did like kind of, you know, bits where he kind of said a bit or whatever in the segment of a show. And then have Callan do a performance or somebody else do something, and that's it. But obviously, stand-up comedians, by default, I think are kind of greedy. It looks like they don't really do shows together, you know. That's why Bert maybe is a bit of a unique guy in terms of bringing everyone together to do those cruise shows and those other shows he does live and stuff. But stand-up comedians don't like to like share money, it seems like. So Brian and Brendan would prefer to go and do their own gigs, performing to 20 people. Then they would prefer to come together and have maybe 50 people come to their shows. It's a bit bizarre, but I feel like if Brendan did more T-Fat-K shows, he would be okay. But him trying to be a legit stand-up comic, having no real comedic chops, having no real comedic timing, never really been a funny dude, and trying to develop that funny bone in your 30s, it was just never going to happen. Never. And even if it was going to happen, he would have to be very he'd have to be very observant. He'd have to be very introspective. He'd have to be very, you know, thick-skinned also to be able to understand what was going wrong, accept the licks, and be able to make some edits along the way. But he was never able to do that. So it was never, ever going to work. So this is kind of an inevitability. And if anything, like I said before, it's just a bit weird and a little bit yucky that he's kind of using his family as an excuse, you know? Because the real rap truth is that if he was selling tickets, this is the really sad thing about the situation. And let's be honest here. Let's be honest, because the kid's okay now. Let's be honest. If he was selling tickets and he was on tour and he was doing countrywide tours, international tours, do you really think he would have quit or he would have cancelled those tours to go and look after his kid in the hospital? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Of course not. And because he's not selling many tickets to the comedy, whatever, he's doing whatever, you know, Laugh Factory or whatever he's performing at in LA and shit, he's not selling tickets. That's the reason why he's quitting. That's honestly the sad thing about the situation. I don't think it's a bad thing to quit, but he's obviously only quitting because the numbers just don't make any sense. He's probably spending more money on his outfits than he's ever going to make back doing stand-up comedy. So why would he do it? But then he's using his kids as an excuse of being a family man. It's like, come on, bro. If you were selling where you were selling, you know, in like 2016, 2017, do you really think he would quit? Do you think he'd cancel a show? Do you think he'd take a week off podcasting? Come on, bro. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. So that's the only sad thing in this situation, is that even at this moment in time when things are really down bad for him, he still can't be honest. He still can't be straight up and say, hey man, it just wasn't for me. I'll give it my best go. I'm going to pivot and do other things. I'm still might come back and do some shows here and there throughout the year. And maybe even if you want to spin it, you could even spin it in a positive way for yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to approach stand-up in a different way. Maybe doing gigs the way everyone else does it isn't for me. It doesn't suit my type of comedy. My audience has seen all my material already. I'm at like a bit of a, you know, I'm having a bit of a writer's block and stuff. I don't really know what to write about because I'm having all these troubles outside of comedy and stuff, and, you know, things I'm worrying about. You can spin it in a good way and actually be a little bit self-deprecating, be honest, kind of wear your heart on your sleeve. But even then, at this vulnerable moment, he still feels a need to like protect his ego and be like, you know what? I'm only quitting to be a family man. And it's like, bro, you're not completing to be a family man. Let's be real. You're quitting because your ticket sales aren't great. If your ticket sales were great, you wouldn't be with that family. We know what you're like when your ticket sales are good. We remember what it was like when, you know, unfortunately his wife had a miscarriage and, you know, he was out on tour somewhere. He was out in a hot tub with his boys and she was out crying on social media about, you know, having a miscarriage and how hurtful that was. We know what he's like when he's got tickets. We know what all these guys are like. All these guys are like. We know what they're like. So this whole lie that he's now a reformed family man guy is horrible. Even though in general it's a good thing because it still meant he's gotten to the place where he is going to be a quote-unquote family man by force because he's got no shows. But let's be real. The guy's only doing this because there's no other options, really and truly. But that's my point of view. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the stream chat. What do you guys think of Brendan's announcement that he's quitting? Do you think it's sincere? Is there an ulterior motive? Do you think this will change if his ticket sales suddenly pick up and stuff? What do you guys think in the stream chat? Let me know what you guys think. I wear my organs on my sleeve, not just on my heart. Andrew Tain. Chin will pivot his content into van life. BAPA has made me laugh more than any other comedian, so I hope he don't quit. Can't move tickets. Rolly, bust down. Actually, I want to know this. How soon do you think podcasting will quit? He'll quit podcasting. Because he doesn't have as many sponsors as before. Podcast network shit isn't doing as good, right? That Podcast One thing. The share prices are down. How soon do you think podcasting will follow? That would be brutal. Like, not that he will quit podcasting. Podcasting will quit on him because podcast is only beneficial because it pays. When the sponsors dry up, oof. No BGL to write a new 25 exactly. Hold on. Do you think BGL writ that 20? You think BGL had a hand in writing the Gunga Papi? Is that actually true? That's brutal if true. If BGO writ that, wow. Not Young Old Vibes. He quit comedy the same way Joe Budden quit rapping. Boom. Bingo, 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 Young Old Vibes. Exactly. The thing about Budden though, which is fucking funny, he obviously only quit rap because, you know, no one gave a fuck about his rapping. But then when he made it in stand-up, when he made it in fucking podcasting, he almost felt as if like podcasting was a vindication for his failed rap career. And he started to feel like now he was a star he was always meant to be type of thing. He let that fame get to his head. So Budden is an interesting character in that regard. Like, that's the thing that made, you know, the original cast want to leave, because he never acted or never believed that the podcast success was in part because of the whole cast of people. He always thought that he was the special one, same like rapping, you know, solo kind of artist, when really it was other people involved as well. So yeah, that's a really great point. Remember that beer commercial he drew in the journal because he never writes? For sure he'll downsize. There's no way he can continue to finance the studio. Oh my god, Mike Johnson, the studio. Yo, that's one thing I agree with Rogan and fucking Bobby Lee. Rogan and Bobby Lee were talking and they were like, kind of confused as to why like Tom Segura and Bert have these expansive studios with like hundreds of people working in there, right? And even they said even Bert's studio, I think he's got a studio in his house, right? He's got a studio in his house and shit. And they were saying that Bert's studio in his house even has people working behind laptops and stuff, you know, on social media and stuff. And they're like, they don't understand why. And it's something that I've always kind of respected about Joe, in that he keeps his podcast set up very lo-fi. Obviously, it's great equipment, great audio, great lighting. Studio is really good too, right? In terms of layout and stuff, easy to kind of, you know, whatever. But in terms of the operational side of things, it's very basic. There's a guy that does the booking. There's a Navy SEALs at the front of the door to make sure no stragglers come in. And there's Jamie behind the mixing board and switching the cameras. That's it. Nothing else is involved there. I think there's another guy maybe does bookings as well. I think I mentioned it before, right? But that's it. Nothing else. Whereas those other guys have crazy amount of employees, like actual full-time employees, just working behind the fucking boards and stuff, claiming a salary, which, you know, you'd imagine on top of your cost of renting those spaces, it's going to be crazy to kind of run those things. So essentially you're having to balance so many plates just to keep the lights on, which obviously makes those situations hard to kind of keep going because, you know, the operational costs are so high, which again, I've never understood. But I think a lot of those guys want to appear like they're successful. So I think in Brendan's vision, because I remember there was this again is crazy law, but you guys remember when Rogan moved into that studio before he left LA? That really nice one. It was like a big one in a massive, like, you know, warehouse unit. I think it was maybe the same sort of thing he's got in Austin, but it was the studio before he moved to LA. Do you remember when Brendan went to visit the studio? He was talking about that studio ad nauseum for maybe 2 weeks straight. I think he fell in love with that studio ever since then. He wanted to appear like a big dog as well and kind of emulate his hero or his dad in Rogan. And he went out and got a studio himself just to kind of, you know, act like he was Rogan's level too. I think he's, again, this is the same thing I think I've had an issue with Brendan, because I feel like in general his lifestyle has never really made sense to me. Like, why are you like a average middle of the road comedian and stand-up comic, no, comedian and podcaster, but then you have cars and a house of, like, I don't know, some former quarterback or something? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And of course, most of it is an image thing. He wants to appear like a big dog, like a big wig, without having any of the accomplishments of a big dog or a big wig. So the studio is one of those things. I want to appear like a big dog. I want to have that kind of hero pose, that hero camera angle of me walking from the back and stuff into my studio, looking at all the different rooms, pointing at walls and shit like I'm doing work, right? And like, when really and truly, like, the Thick Boy, if you think about it, could be done from a pretty decent size one room of a podcast. He can do that whole entire Thick Boy shit in one room. They basically built Fire and a Kid all from one studio room. So suddenly now that, you know, he does Thick Boy, all of a sudden he needs all these different podcast spaces when really, you know, all the shows on there have him on there. There's no other podcast that's under Thick Boy that doesn't have him involved in it in some way. So is it really a network? I don't really know. But you could do that whole entire show from one space and cut the cost down drastically. But, you know, what can you do? He'd rather buy more cars, fire George, but then not fucking, you know, cut down on the expenses and shit because he wants to appear like a big dog. So it is what it is. Micho37 says, I don't like Brendan, but I hope people will let off him a bit just for now. He's a narcissist egomaniac and deserves a downfall, but having a miscarriage and having a kid in critical condition is rough. Yeah, that's true. But that's the thing. I think most people don't wish ill on him in that regard. And if anything, most of the haters were the ones that turned around and said, hey, we wish you well. Your kid is in our prayers. Because everyone is, you know, willing to kind of draw a line in the sand when it comes to that sort of stuff concerning kids and family and shit. So if anything, the internet kind of proved Brendan wrong. It's not all bad, because the people that hate you the most are the ones that actually were the ones that went out their way to send you well wishes. Even the fact, I mean, I've mentioned it in the Patreon video, even the Frightened Kids subreddit, look what they did. They saw the thread about Brendan announcing his baby he's going to go for emergency surgery was going bad, and people are starting to make all these crazy conspiracy theories about he was faking the whole thing because of his low ticket sales, and they closed the thread. They let the thread up, but they closed it to comments. That's actually quite admirable, considering how sometimes, you know, racy and dicey that subreddit can get with Brendan. The fact that they closed it showed that they were like understanding of how the tone was going, and they wanted to be respectful, and they just shut it off and let people kind of, you know, upvote and whatever and talk in other places, but they didn't want to make that post go a bit nutty and stuff. And that's obviously acknowledging that, hey, he might be a piece of shit sometimes, but, you know, when it comes to kids, let's have some grace. So I don't ever think that's been an issue. The main issue with him using his family as an excuse is that it feels like an excuse. It feels like a human meat shield, essentially. instead of owning up to the issues of like, hey, my career's not going the way it should be going, I'm going to take some time to work, whatever you want to say. If you don't want to comment on it, cool, but just using your family as an excuse sometimes can feel a bit messy. Even if it's real, it can feel a little bit nasty, you know. But I think most people don't really wish ill on him. I don't think so, honestly. I don't really think people out there want this guy to like be out on the streets begging for money. I don't think so. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think most people are just generally aggrieved at his personality. Just think he says some horrible stuff. He acts in a bad way sometimes, and maybe it's a constant, oh, he's a great guy. And maybe it's all the other issue as well to say this, right, is this. I honestly do think a lot of the hate towards Brendan is more to do with the other comedians and the people in the scene not willing to want to say the obvious thing, like everybody pretending like they don't know why people don't like him, like, you know what I mean, that kind of collective fucking ignorance, purposeful ignorance or willful blindness to the obvious might have actually made people get more annoyed. Like, what the fuck, like, it's obvious why he's a fucking piece of shit, why aren't you saying it? And people then go out their way to want to prove it, and then you find other people who actually want to prove it, and then you start a community, and then blah, here we go. Maybe that's part of it, who knows? But I just think fundamentally, if the guy would actually work on his own personality, work on how he comes across, all of the problems will go away. But again, narcissist, can you actually have any of that self-reflection? It remains to be seen, and so far, doesn't happen. James, he didn't put in the work. He half-asses everything, expects results. He's never done anything to improve. Do you really think he spent seconds writing the material? Exactly. And that's why it's hard to have. That's why I think you can't really blame Rogan too much, because I feel like if you're Rogan and you have friends, I think like one of the greatest things you can do, and I think most of you would agree here, you've all had periods in your life, or maybe a point in your life where you've met somebody that was rich. Maybe you had like a rich friend when you were growing up as a kid. Maybe you met someone rich that when you were like an adult and stuff. It's always amazing when you meet someone rich and they're just really giving. Like, they go out of their way to just. I remember once we had this rich kid that we grew up with who just went out of his way to always just pay for everything when we went out. Like, he'd cover the bill and food and drinks. Like, he didn't even make a fuss about it. And if anything, it was more so like, oh, I just want us to have a good time. I don't want anybody to not come out because they don't have money. So he'd much rather you just come out and just cover the bill. And that's what always, like, I was like, fuck. He was like, yeah, that's what you're meant to do when you grow up and you're privileged and your parents are fucking millionaires. Like, why wouldn't you do that? But I feel like, so you can't blame Rogan for being the most famous podcast or media person in the world and using his platform to help his friends. It's just a problem when his friends don't work on themselves, don't try and improve their content, and just treat that blessing like nothing, or take it for granted. That's a major Brendan's problem. The problem isn't Rogan helping his friends. The problem is Brendan just not taking, not using that kind of leg up, that little advantage for what it's worth. It's like the Nepo baby argument, right? Nepo babies do the same thing. A Nepo baby gets given opportunities that they probably don't deserve, easily and quickly, and instead of working at it and developing themselves, they don't. They just do the bare minimum and expect all the results, all the best results. And it's like, come on, man, come on. Case of Moses, most comedians behave worse than BAPA. He just happens to suck at comedy. Most comedians behave worse than BAPA. He just sucks at comedy. So maybe the combination of it. He sucks at comedy, and he's also not the most well-behaved person. Even though that sounds weird to say about an adult, he's not the most likable person. That's probably the thing. He sucks and he's not likable. That's the problem. Maybe. Who knows? Mike Johnson, Brendan got so out of control with his ego, bro. He thought he was George Carlin. Yeah, I said that as well in a Patreon, Mike. I said in the Patreon. That's also one of Brendan's biggest issues. It's a strength, though. In one way, it's a strength, because I feel like you have to have a bit of delusion. You have to be a little bit mentally unwell to do the stuff that I do, even streaming or maybe making content at my low level. To do stand-up and podcast, all that sort of stuff, you have to have a little bit of a sprinkling, a little bit of a salt-based sprinkle of mental illness to actually believe that people give a fuck about what you say, to actually think you're funny, to actually try and do that on stage, to have a podcast that you do on a weekly basis. You have to be a little bit cuckoo. You have to kind of believe in yourself to a point where people think you're a bit nuts. But you also have to be a bit self-aware. You have to know where you kind of fall in the totem pole of, like, you know, on the scale of like artists and stuff. And for some reason, Papa just has never been able to clock onto that. And I think the issue, the really alarm bell for me was when I remember watching some clips of the Golden Hour, and they don't do it anymore now. But you remember those clips I'll be playing in to you guys on the stream, where Brendan will be playing a clip of himself from a pod or something. Do you remember that? And he'd be laughing at himself. That's when I knew he was a bit fucked in the head. Because I've never gone out of my way to play a clip of myself on my stream, ever, because I think it's embarrassing and cringe. I don't like to watch myself or hear myself. But Brendan would sit there and watch himself from a previous pod and laugh at the jokes and stuff that he said. That's when I knew, oh, he's fucked. There's no hope for him, because he's not even funny on pods like that. So to be laughing at yourself hysterically on a pod is like, whoa, you don't even know what funny is. You are in trouble, you know. So it was never gonna work. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, he's fucked, man, because he must watch Gringo Pappy and he must be crying with laughter, like literally rib splitting. When we're watching it, we're like, where's the jokes? Are the jokes here? We don't know, but yeah, big up him. How come he quit working on comedy like he did in 2017, 2019? At least then he was doing 4 spots a week. Ryan Joseph, he needs Cat Williams to take him under his wing. Rogan gave him plenty of chances. He squandered it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, that Rogan ticket was just, that was, to be fair to him, I also don't think he actually wanted to be a stand-up comedian. That's my personal opinion. I just think he was looking for a way out of the UFC, because he hated it. He hated being a UFC fighter. He hated it. Hated Dana, hated the business, especially when they took away the fucking sponsors on the shorts and stuff. He hated the business of the UFC. He wanted any way out, and I don't blame the guy. But stand-up comedy probably was a good option, because at the time it paid so well. Like, imagine he was getting all that podcast rub, the Rogan rub. People were coming out to see him perform. He was associated with Rogan, so clubs were falling over themselves to book him. Like, he must have made so much money. Those early years of the podcast, those early years of Rogan friendship, he must have made so much money. And I think in general, he always just wanted to have that lifestyle. He wanted to live in the hidden hills somewhere. He wanted to have a nice big mansion, cars, cool trainers, a wife with a BBL, some cute kids. That's all he wanted. I don't really think I think whatever got him there quicker was what he wanted, but I don't think he ever really deep down wanted to be a stand-up comedian. I know he lied and said, oh, my dad, I want to be funny. No, you want to be a football player. Let's be real. And, you know, that didn't work out for him. But I don't think he actually wanted to be a stand-up comedian. It just happened to pay well, and it was an option that was viable and open at the time. So why not do it? You know what I mean? But I don't think he ever wanted to be one. So the idea of sitting down and writing jokes, like, what? If he was quitting family even though I have kids, I can't maybe put myself in the shoes of a parent, and that kind of feeling of, like, you know, helplessness when your kid is ill and has to go into emergency surgery, especially when it's a baby. Like, that must be horrendous, especially because it's already born premature, it's already having health complications, and on top of it, it's going in and out of hospital, and then now you have to bring the baby back. You know, it's horrible. I can't imagine. But I can also think, as a parent, you must have conflicting feelings. You're allowed to have them. It's like having a kid that has special needs. There must be a sense of relief sometimes when you're able to take them somewhere where someone's going to look after them. But you're also sad they don't have to spend time with them anymore, right? You're allowed to have those conflicting feelings as a parent. So maybe when he made that reaction video, I misread him looking bummed as him not caring and stuff, and it's about his career, when really he was probably worried about his daughter that went into emergency surgery, and he was also really bummed that he couldn't go out on the road and perform. I think you're allowed to feel those two feelings. It's perfectly fine. I think I just misread it because I don't have a family or anything, so I don't know what that is like. But because the one thing, if that was me and I was ill, I'd just be bummed, you know, whatever. So I think that was the most thing. So he couldn't really figure it out or kind of bring that to grasp. So that makes a lot more sense in that regard. So completely understand where he's coming from. It's just a shame again that it had to happen at this point, had to get to this stage, even though again, I've never really been the biggest fan of his comedy, and he's never really shown any willingness, you know, to improve or to work on it. He kind of, some people would say he stole a living and he maybe didn't deserve the opportunities he was given, but again, I don't think you get anything that you deserve in life. You get what you take, and sometimes you just get lucky and you bump into someone like a Rogan. You start a podcast because again, you have to imagine that the timing, everything about their careers has been, I think even a BERT Crash is a good example of it. I'll play a clip later of BERT talking to Bobby, but I think some of these guys recognize the blessings they've been given and they're just trying to ride it until the wheels fall off. I think that's what you should do. I think that's what you should fucking do. You should ride those opportunities until the fucking wheels fall off. You shouldn't just let up and coast and act like you're fucking Larry King and shit, right? Which kind of bad Brendan kind of, you know, was acting a little bit like, you know, took it for granted, just assumed he'd be rich and famous forever and ever. I think you should really be pushing it until the end because, you know, you never know when it's over. But they started at an opportune time. They started podcasting at a time when podcasting wasn't that popular. They started doing long form podcasting when that wasn't too popular. Rogan's been one of the most famous people in media for 2 decades plus and shit. Like all those things were really important in terms of launching all of these comedians in the JRV verse and BAPA versus career, and it's kind of been the reason why they're still around now. And another thing that people don't really take for or don't put in consideration is just the familiarity of them all. These guys have been around for so long that most people are just grandfathered into listening to them. You don't even care what they have to say. I bet some of you guys listen to the Fire and the Kid, JRE, Bertcast, Tom Segura's podcast, Your Mum's House, just out of necessity, just out of habit, because it's the thing that you listen to every whatever Tuesday, Wednesday it drops, just in the background. You don't even care what they're saying. You just listen to it. But you don't listen to new pods. It's very rare that you find a new pods that you listen to. So I think a lot of these guys have fans and success built in because of that early period, right? And they don't really they don't see it as that. They just think it's just, oh yeah, I'm really famous, everyone loves me. It's like a lot of these people are just there from that time. You don't really have a lot of new fans, and if anything, you know, you should take that for granted. But some of them do, Brendan being a good example. And again, think about it. What other comedian in that circle has had to quit comedy? The only one that has to quit it is Brendan because he's been so lazy in his approach. Brian has had a fucking whole rape allegation against him. Brian doesn't even have his own podcast. Brian is not the best on fucking social media. Brian is old. Brian's comedy is probably just as bad as Brendan, but he hasn't had to quit stand-up. You know? The only person that's had to quit has been the one guy who's taken it for granted the most. The one guy who's gone out of his way to self-sabotage. He's the one person that's actually had to quit. You know? Now, Mr. West, he didn't actually quit. I'm going to play the clip one more time. He didn't actually quit. He just announced he's not going to go on tour as much as before. He's not going to do a lot of countrywide tours, a lot of international tours, which only leaves touring LA and surrounding counties and surrounding states, which is, you know, kind of like quitting. But everybody saying he's quitting overall is being misinformed. He's saying he's not going to go on tour as much because he wants to be next to the fam. He wants to help his kid become a Major League Baseball player, all this sort of nonsense. Let's play the clip one more time for those of you who've just joined. Let's play the clip one more time.
My everything, comments, tech, everything about support for you. So yeah, so much love.
Yeah, tons. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I had to cancel Austin and Nashville. And usually I hate doing that stuff. It happens, but yeah, I think this time I just don't care. That's where I'm at. I gotta be home more. I'm gonna pull back from touring so much, and I just gotta be home, man. I can't miss Tigers games. Can't miss my Bosty growing up, baby girl. I can't do it anymore. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I'm freaking tired. You know, I've been hustling for over 12 years now. Not that I'm gonna stop doing the.
To be fair, looking back to hearing it back again, him saying "I just don't care" is really stark, isn't it? Like, I just don't care. That's when you know you're your wit's end. But it's also maybe indicative of like, because remember before I'd say on these streams, I was fascinated by how often he would lie about the most minute things. And I maybe it's me, and maybe because I'm not a big liar, I think I love to like keep stuff to myself or aggressively overshare, which can be a form of like love bombing, right? Like oversharing bombing. I'm sure that's a thing. I either don't say nothing or I say the most, right? I don't really lie. That's not something I like to do. I'll just either say everything or nothing. But I think as a liar, it must be very exhausting not to lie about the big things, but the small things that don't make any sense. Like, oh yeah, this guy texts me. Oh, Rick Ross DM'd me about my fish tanks. Those type of lies must be exhausting to keep up when you're trying to fake it till you make it, especially at his stage. Because I feel like there is a utility, there is a usefulness to fake it till you make it, because it maybe puts you in a position where you're trying to force yourself into you're trying to push yourself into a level that you want to get to. You're trying to back yourself into a corner so you come out swinging. You want to match your fucking chat, you know? But I think when you lie as much as he does about your career, especially at his stage, it must be exhausting, because it's like, how much more do I have to keep up this charade of me being a successful comic? Like, how long is it going to take until my career actually matches my chat? And it seems like, if anything, it's gone in the reverse now, you know? The more he talks, the more his fucking career kind of goes down. So maybe that's been the thing that's really kind of broken him. Like, I just can't do these lies anymore. I can't just be talking about, oh yeah, tickets nearly sold out, only 20 left, nearly sold out. Like, how many nearly sold outs can you do? How many times can you announce a gig at fucking Covina? Right? How many times can you announce a Covina date and then cancel it? How many times can you book a European tour and then cancel it 2 weeks before? How many times? It must be exhausting. And this goes to prove Unique's suspicion. Unique, big up my guy Unique. He hypothesized that Brennan actually wasn't getting booked at these comedy clubs. He suggested that Brennan was actually booking himself at comedy clubs, which I didn't know that was a thing, but allegedly it's a thing. Because in the DJ world, you can't really do that. In the DJ world, you can put on your own parties, but you're almost limited to the clubs you can do them at. I can't just go to like Fabric and want to put on my own rave, right? Really and truly, you kind of have to be a bit of a promoter, show them, you know, work you've done before, blah, blah, blah. But I guess in the comedy world, if you want to perform at a comedy store, you can actually book yourself. You can actually just hire it as a venue, sell tickets, and then have your fans come and turn up. But of course, there's way more risk there. The comedy store doesn't have the incentive to promote your tour or promote your show because it's your own show. And, you know, you're taking all the risk. Because if no one turns up, sometimes they won't even let you do the show. That's what happens in DJ stuff. When you don't promote a show and it doesn't sell enough tickets, they'll be like, hey, we can't even justify turning on the lights because we're not gonna make the money back. So maybe that's been the actual blow. All those things he was booking that he had to cancel because he just couldn't sell enough tickets. And that's got to be a real humbler because the comedy clubs doesn't have many seats, right? There's not many tables and shit. So what, if you can't sell 50 tickets in your home state, that's tough. And again, ticket sales is hard to do. Anybody out there that's done, that's tried to fucking sell cookies door to door, that's tried to put on a party, anyone out there that's actually tried to invite their friends, in the stream chat, let me know this in the stream chat. Anybody that's tried to invite their friends for a birthday drinks that you're willing to pay for, you're going to put money behind the bar for your friends to come to your birthday drinks, you will know how hard it is to get your friends to come out and drink for free, let alone have strangers pay tickets to come and see you. It's very hard to sell tickets. It's very hard for people to turn up. So I don't laugh at him for that, but I think that must have been one of the things that actually kind of hurt him the most.
Pods, but as far as the plane life and stuff like that, I gotta chill out. I can do spots in LA, I can do local, SoCal, NorCal, but going international or, you know, going across the freaking United States ain't happening right now. So,
and I also wonder if a lot of this, because he doesn't sound like a stand-up comedian anymore. Again, very strange. Inside baseball, I care too much about people's lives I don't know. I sound fucking obsessive. I understand. Please bear with me. He doesn't sound like a stand-up comedian anymore. He doesn't sound like Rogan anymore. I wonder if ever since Rogan left, he probably doesn't hang around with a lot of stand-up comedians anymore. So that rhetoric that they had about touring, sets and reps, doing loads of shows, always being on the road, grinding, he doesn't hear that talk anymore. So he's just a normal guy recording content, going. So that kind of justification for being away from your family, where you're trying to impress your friends, your other stand-up comedy peers and whatever, has gone. So it's just empty. It's just quiet. And you just sat there thinking, why am I traveling to fucking Spokane when I've sold 30 tickets when I could be with my kids? I could be hanging them out with my wife. Where I could be driving my truck around. Like, what am I doing? I'm not even gonna make any money. I'm gonna break even at this place. You know what I mean? If that, why am I doing this? So maybe that realization that maybe he doesn't have that community of comedians around him anymore to make it fun, because that must be part of it too. To go to these shows, bump into a stand-up comedian, you know, and whatever. That's cool. That's cool. Being a green room and shit. Not having that community, probably that hurts, bro. I wonder if that's the reason why. Ever since Rogan left, he also took half of the comedians with him. Maybe a lot of them were Brendan's friends, but also that protection, you know, that influence is gone now. He's just on his own. It's like, ugh.
So I'm gonna take a break from that and just focus on family and do my thing, man. Do my thing. So yeah, let's get into it. Enough of that.
Again, nothing wrong with quitting. The way he's quitting is sad because it's obviously not really on his terms, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. In general, it's probably for the best he's focusing on podcasting, because if you had to say what is one of Brendan's strengths, it's definitely podcasting. If you've watched the latest episodes of The Fire and the Kid and The Golden Hour without Brendan, say what you want about Brendan, but those shows are terrible without him. They're terrible without him. Without him, The Fire and the Kid is fucking garbage. Brian is lucky he has Brendan in his life. Without Brendan, Brian would be legitimately depending on his dad for money. Like, he'd be struggling out here. Like, without Brendan. Like, that podcast without Brendan is fucking... It's horrible to listen to anyway, but without Brendan, The Fire and the Kid is unlistenable. The Golden Hour, even worse, right? Because Chris D'Elia is like, and even Chris D'Elia, ADHD brain. So I'm jumping around here. Randomly, I listened to a compilation of 10-minute podcasts randomly. The difference in comedic chops of Chris D'Elia pre-diddling accusations and now is wild, bro. He was so funny on 10-minute podcasts. Even Brian Can to a certain extent. It's insane to see how that cancellation has completely ripped the humor out of Chris D'Elia. He's a shell of his former self. And Eric Griffin, that fucking fat tub of lard, is just happy to be there, right? Because he was never part of the core group anyway. No one liked Eric Griffin, so he's just happy to be there. So he's never really like, I don't know, I kind of get the feeling he's never really that, I won't say comfortable, but it kind of seems that they tolerate him, you know? He was never really one of the boys, Eric Griffin. He was always kind of like a side guy. Bobby Lee didn't really, you know, bring him in his circle. Like, I don't know, it's a strange thing. So that dynamic is, you know, a bit strange. But Brendan is definitely the best thing for those two podcasts. But he's definitely his strongest part of him is podcasting. Even though he's not that great at it, that's the best thing he can do. So it's probably for the best that he focuses on podcasting and content creation as opposed to being a stand-up comedian, because as we've seen with You Be Surprised and Gringo Pappy, like the really sad thing as well is that Gringo Pappy came how many years after You Be Surprised? Like 3 or 4 years or something. And most of us can say it's no better than You'd Be Surprised. So to go that long in between specials and for it to be marginally better than the first was probably the indication he needed that this is not for you. Because usually specials, even if they're not funny to you, you can see an improvement little by little. But to be in your second special and to not be any good, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. What else are you guys saying here? But also imagine this show with a new person on local on it, whether it's in town or on the road, knows that it will be a minimum seat in T5K subreddit, maybe just contributors. Yep, true. Jack Donaghy Jr. I disagree about the kink and the stink. The golden hour sounds proper. Yeah, NJ Ranger would say that. You would say that, NJ Ranger. You would, but yeah, I watched that episode. I thought it was fucking garbage. Like, honestly, it went to fucking throw my head out the window. Nobody Wrangler equals no point to go on the road. Where's the Tiger Blood whiskey? Oh, that's another thing. What's happened to Tiger Fick then? Because the whole plan of Tiger Fick was to promote it in comedy stores or to force comedy stores to sell it when you're performing there. Does it mean now that the stand-up comedy career is over, does it mean Tiger Fick is now defunct? Is Tiger Fick going to go insolvent? Will Tiger Fick go under? Who knows? Who knows? AO said it's messed up though that he will use his family instead of the fact that he's never been funny. You know what, AO? I don't think I'd even go that far. I'm even going to take that back. It's not that he's never been funny. He's just never resonated. Honestly, I've done this stream long enough and I've watched enough stand-up specials to know now that stand-up comedy is probably the most subjective art form in the entertainment industry. It's the most subjective discipline in that industry, whatever you want to call it. It really is. It's subjective. What you think is funny, I might not think is funny. I just think Brendan just couldn't figure it out. That's probably the saddest thing about it, because there's people out there that Brendan is probably funnier than, they just figured it out. Like, I don't know about you guys, this might sound like slander, but how much better at stand-up is BERT than Brendan? He might be a good storyteller, but actually jokes. Is BERT really that funny compared to Brendan? Really? But he figured it out. He figured out something that works for him. He got fans that love it, and he sells out, and he goes on tour all the time. Brendan just couldn't figure out his little niche. You know, he couldn't figure it out, and that's probably his main thing. I don't think it's a funny thing. I don't think some of the best stand-up comedians out there, the top ones, aren't funny. You know, like Rogan's a good example of it. Like, I don't know. I don't find him funny, but he's the most successful stand-up comedian out there. He sells out his tours. He goes on whenever he wants to go on tour. He sells out a bunch. Like, he's very comfortable in his situation. So I don't think it's a funny thing. It's just he didn't figure it out. He couldn't figure it out. I never seen Pepper proud of shitting. Yes, he is. Bert is way better than Schaub. In your opinion, I don't think he's way better. You said the term way better. Is he better than Schaub? Yes. Way better? I disagree, Ryan Joseph. Categorically. I don't know. I remember watching Secret Time thinking, I remember Secret Time. Secret Time was a struggle to get through. What is he saying? Exactly, Bert figured out his niche. Brendan couldn't. Papa haters most of his fans. Yeah, I wonder if that's part of it too, Case of Immersive. But I wonder if that's a part of it. Papa hates most of his fans. I wonder if, like, part of the reason why he never succeeded was that deep-seated contempt he had for his fans. I wonder if that's the thing. Whenever he sees fans, he'd, like, get bummed that they didn't look like Jocko Willink, or they didn't look like David Goggins, or they didn't look like Joe Rogan's. Like, he'd always get bummed that there were these, like, fat, chubby, Hispanic type of dudes who just happy to, like, and I never understood why that's a bad thing. Like, who cares that all your fans look like that? Who gives a fuck, man? They're all your fans. They love you. Embrace them, hug them, support them, shout them out. Like, even early on his Instagram, if you remember when he did those meet and greets, he'd only share pictures of guys who look kind of cool. He'd never share pictures of, like, you know, the regular guys who'd come to meet him at his stand-up specials. He'd always share pictures of, like, the ripped guy with, like, the hottie girlfriend, but he'd never share pictures of the two chubby little Mexican kids. Like, he wouldn't share those. because he didn't think they were cool. It's like, bro, they're your fans. Doesn't matter what the fuck they look like. They love you. They support you. They're buying tickets. They're coming out to see you. Like, who gives a fuck? But he'd always, honestly, if you know the law I'm talking about, you know, early on, Brendan would never share all the pictures people would tag him in on Instagram. Only the ones with the quote unquote hotties. He wanted all his fucking fans to look like Matt Rife or something. I don't know, man. Odd guy. Odd fucking guy. Anyway, we've spoken about that long enough. Like I said, he hasn't quit stand-up comedy. He's quit touring most of the US and most of the world, which maybe is kind of like quitting stand-up, but it's mostly he's quit like flying around and stuff. He's gonna do local stuff when he needs to do, and whenever someone offers, he would take it. But all those cancelled shows, all those flights out, stays in hotels and shit. Because that's the thing it's all about Brendan. This is Brendan. He doesn't stay in shitty hotels. He gets good Airbnbs. He takes decent flights. He might hire a car. All those things, you know, all those things. So that's going to cost a lot. So, you know, it probably takes a lot out of the money you're going to make if you're doing all that. So, you know, Godspeed to the guy. Godspeed to the guy. Moving on. Let's continue on here. So, what else do you want to talk about? We spoke about him quitting. Let's move on. And let's talk about some nasty stuff. Some nasty things, okay? Some disgusting things. Disgusting. You want to hear disgusting things? Vince McMahon, brothers, accused of sex trafficking by WWE staffer he paid to keep quiet. Imagine getting diddled. Imagine getting diddled by someone that looks like that. Fucking hell, bro. Imagine getting diddled by somebody that looks like that. Yucky. So, courtesy of the Wall Street Journal, a woman who received payouts from WWE boss Vince McMahon has accused McMahon of the company and a former executive of sex trafficking in a new lawsuit that raises questions about the breadth of the internal company's probe conducted by a law firm last year. Janelle Grant, a former employee at the wrestling firm's headquarters, said in a lawsuit filed on Thursday that she was abused, sexually exploited by McMahon while he was chief executive. You know what's really sad about this and really damaging? This isn't even like abuse of female wrestlers, which doesn't make it right, but you know what I mean. It's not even like that type of stuff. It's abuse within the headquarters of the WWE, like backroom staff, like C-suite people, office people. Fucking horrendous, bro. She alleged that McMahon lured her with promises of a career development and then allegedly exploited her and trafficked her to other men inside the Yo, fucking hell. Grant signed a London. Imagine getting somebody to sign an NDA because you abused them. You have to be a real sicko. She signed a non-disclosure agreement in 2022 in which McMahon agreed to pay $3 million for her not to discuss a relationship or disparage him. The WWE received an anonymous. How can you do that though? Can you? Is that legal? Can you sign an NDA and then break it, even though you got paid? So you didn't get paid twice. You kind of double dip. You sign an NDA. You get abused, obviously, that's horrible. You get the money, but then you change your mind later, and then you do a story about it, or you sue and then you get more money. The WWE received an anonymous tip in 2022 about a relationship and started a board investigation, which uncovered other payments by CEO to women. By the CEO to other women. Jesus. Grant's lawsuit said McMahon stopped making payments under the 2022 deal after the initial $1 million installment. Okay, this is why, what a piece of shit. You make me sign an NDA and then you don't even pay the full amount. Can you imagine what kind of a piece of shit you have to be? You abuse me, you take advantage of me, you make me sign an NDA, you agree to pay me $3 million, and then you only pay $1 million of the $3 million. Okay, if I'm that girl, fuck you, bro. I'm taking you to court again. Breaking that NDA, I'm going to run your entire pockets. Fuck you and your bloodline. I'm with that girl. Big up that girl. The lawsuit is How do you say that word? Is replete. I never heard of that word. Replete. This lawsuit is replete with lies, obscene made-up instances that never occurred, and vindictive distortion of the truth, says a spokesman of McMahon. He will vigorously defend himself. TKO Group, an entertainment giant that was recently formed by the merger of WWE and UFC, Mixed Martial Arts League, said in a statement, while this matter predates the TKO executive's team tenure at the company, we take Mrs. Grant's horrific allegations very seriously and are addressing the matter internally. Do you think there's a possibility? Again, this is really cynical for me to say this, but is it possible that this was known and they rushed the deal forward with the UFC? Do you think this is possible, that they knew about this shit and they rushed that UFC merger forward to make sure it didn't affect the fucking deal in any way, shape or form? Yo, burying sexual abuse for the betterment of the stock exchange and shit and the share price is dark. Burying sexual abuse to prop up the share price is fucking dark, bro. That is dark shit. Can you imagine what must be going on out there that they would sweep under the rug, stuff like that? Like, god damn. Jerry McMahon's attorney at the time said in 2022 that the woman whose name wasn't in public hasn't made allegations of harassment. In a statement when the Wall Street Journal first reported on McMahon's $3 million settlement, WWE said the relationship was consensual and that it was taken seriously. Allegations that McMahon had engaged in misconduct. You know what's funny about this, actually? Thinking about it now, this is similar to the Harvey Weinstein thing. Part of Harvey Weinstein's downfall was that he didn't just stop at people that were desperate for fame, because if the really troubling and sad thing about the Harvey Weinstein situation was that allegedly he was known as somebody that always fulfilled, that always what's that thing called, that was always true to his word. Strange thing to say, somebody that's a fucking convicted fucking rapist and shit, but the word around Hollywood was that if he promised a woman a role or an audition in a certain movie for an exchange to suck his dick, he would always follow through. So that is what kind of helped to kind of keep all that abuse under wraps and not in public and kind of hush and kind of like an open secret, because he always followed through his promises and basically launched people's careers. But then when he started to get a little bit too crazy and started to abuse and sexually harass and rape, you know, cleaners and people that were just regular people that weren't involved in the entertainment industry, that's when it kind of unraveled, because then he started to like take advantage of people that weren't even in that state of like willing to make that kind of exchange. And it seems the same with the Vince McMahon thing. Probably you can maybe get away with, you know, maybe taking advantage of a female wrestler that wants to get in the industry because they're so desperate to get involved, right? They can maybe, you know, justify that abuse. But when you start abusing regular C-level suite people that just want to do their job, that's when it gets a bit fucking crazy. It sounds odd, but this sounds like the similar sort of thing, where you just, you know, you get too crazy on your power and you think you can get away with it forever, and then obviously it comes tumbling down. In a statement when the Wall Street Journal first reported, Mr. McMahon briefly retired from WWE in 2022. Following a reporting of the Journal reported that the board's independent directors had retained the law firm Simpson and Thatcher to conduct the investigation. So he retired and then came back when the coast was clear, and now he's quit again. Fucking crazy guy. Simpson Thatcher investigation found 40. Oh my god. Simpson Thatcher investigation found $14.6 million in payments by the CEO to women who had accused him of sexual misconduct that should have been booked as business expenses. In November 2022, WWE said the board investigation was completed and the company restated past security filings. McMahon repaid the company for the cost of the investigation and returned soon after. Surely, you have to be a real sicko. You pay 14.6 million in payments for all your abuse, but at no point do you think, should I just stop my abusing? Should I just stop being a piece of shit? Should I stop being a creep? Should I stop being a diddler? Should I stop being a monster? At no point do you think that. You just keep cutting people checks. Can you imagine? 14.6 mil. and he paid it off and then got his job back. Can you imagine how much money this guy has? He's able to pay off 14.6 as a business expense, wire it back to the company, and then got back his job. The lawsuit complicates the legal picture around this. The 78-year-old McMahon. Federal prosecutors have been investigating the payouts, and in July 2023, agents executed a search warrant for McMahon's phone and served him with a grand jury subpoena. No charges have been brought. Actually, thinking about it, he's 78. Do you think this is what Joe Rogan will end up looking like when he gets old and he can't, and TRT doesn't hit the same? Do you think Rogan will end up looking like this? This is what Rogan's going to end up looking, isn't it? Do you think that's what Rogan will end up looking like when TRT and HGH stop working? He's going to look like this, isn't it? I swear he is. He's going to look like this. Rogan's going to end up looking like that. I'm almost certain of it. He's going to look like, because I can't wait to see what Rogan looks like when he's 60. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I really am curious to see what it looks like. Throughout this experience, I have always denied any eternal wrongdoing and continue to do so. I am confident the government's investigation will be resolved without any findings of wrongdoings. Locked office doors. Wow, look at that. That's how you know some creep shit's going on. When you see a building like this with these sort of like mirrored glass thing going on where you can't really look on the inside, this is some creepo shit. Anytime you see a building like this, you know some shit's going down. Look at that. Look at the headquarters of WWE. It's basically a mirrored cube. Dicey. The lawsuit filed in Connecticut federal court describes in graphic detail Grant's account of interactions with the businessman and TV personality. She alleges that McMahon and other executives locked her in an office in the WWE's headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut on June 15th, 2021, and took turns sexually assaulting her while other staff were working. During a work day, they locked her into a room and, oh my God. In the middle of another work day, on June the 23rd, 2021, McMahon locked Grant inside his private locker room at WWE offices and forced himself on her. So this young lady in 2021 had to endure this Skeletor, I don't know what you'd call him, looking dude, this old saggy skin bag of shit rubbing his little fucking Viagra dick all over her. Can you imagine how sick she must have felt at the end of the day? Can you imagine how disgusted you must have felt? This melted candle rubbing his little fucking minko. Yeah, even 3 mil is not enough for that level of abuse, man. I don't blame her for breaking the NDA. Fuck you, man. Pay me, man. The suit also includes screenshots of illicit text messages that McMahon allegedly sent to Grant. Yeah, Grant, we're going to actually see the messages in a minute. Grant also alleged that McMahon shared nude photos and explicit videos of her without consent with other employees, unnamed executives and stars, directed her to have sex with them. The suit states in July 2020, text that said others at WWE wanted to have sex with her. Holy shit, bro. They were passing around the office like she was a fucking office stapler or some shit. Yo, this is so dark, man. This is so fucking dark. God damn. Want to have sex with her. The suit and a group laughed, and when he told them she may scream and try to say no. Oh my God, she may scream and try to say no, although it would be difficult to say anything with a cock down her throat. Can you imagine him typing that with these fucking old, grubby, wrinkly hands on an Android? Like that. With one hand. Like a boomer. Grant alleged the board Investigation was a sham. She wasn't interviewed by the board special committee. It alleged the company diverted attention away from McMahon's abuse by focusing the accounting on the payouts. Others at WWE knew McMahon's misconduct but worked to conceal the wrongdoing according to a lawsuit. Of course, that's always the most concerning part. Same with the Weinstein thing. Yes, the monsters are horrible and they do need to be exterminated and put down and buried under a jail. But one of the worst things about most of these kind of powerful men taking advantage of young women like this is always the mechanism and the infrastructure around them that basically helps them to get away with that shit. That's the thing that breaks your heart when you read those things. You're like, shit, especially when it involves other women who kind of conspire to hide the truth or to conceal what's happening. It's like, that will make you question your humanity and shit, or your faith in humanity. Jeff Speed, a former WWE board member who led the co-board's investigation, said on Thursday that he remained confident in the investigation, which included an outreach to Grant and engagement with her lawyer. He highlighted that McMahon left the company during the investigation. While recognizing the horrific nature of the allegations of today's lawsuit, I'm not liberty to comment. McMahon, also controlling shareholder of WWE, returned to WWE in early 2023. He elected himself to the McMahon, controlling shareholder of WWE, returned to WWE in early 2023. Elected himself board and replaced several directors. After all that madness he'd done, upon his return, he negotiated to sell WWE to Endeavor Group, owner of UFC. The deal created TKO Group and gave WWE an enterprise value of $9.3 billion. McMahon's executive chairman and shareholder of TKO. This week, Netflix bought the rights to WWE Raw and other WWE shows in a deal valued at $5 billion. McMahon celebrated by giving the opening bell with other TKOs. Oh, so they're going to show WWE on Netflix now. Shit. Big up Crash. Appreciate you, bro.
Who is worse, Diddy or Vinny? Heard it both ways.
You have to say Vinny, because I don't think this is the only victim. There's other victims that probably don't want to come forward. Diddy, Cassie still got a life ruined, but it's mostly only one person I've seen. So there's another Jane Doe, I think, but Vince McMahon, he was abusing a lot of people, but let's continue. Has to look legit. No, this was Ann Collins, a lawyer of Grant, said that the history of deprived active behavior. It's time that he takes responsibility for the misconduct of his leadership. Grant lawsuit. Yeah, look what he looks. Look what he used to look like. Jesus, bro. What? No way. They sent us a picture in 2022. Do you guys watch wrestling, by the way? Can you tell me if this is real? They're saying in this image credit, McMahon at a WWE event in April 2022. That's what it looked like in 2022. What the fuck happened? How do you go from that to that? That's fucking nuts. Yo. Oh my god. 2022, you look like this. Shit. All right. Let's quickly check this stuff. Grant lawsuit alleged that McMahon in March 2019, after an introduction from a manager in an apartment building, McMahon lived in the penthouse of the same building and Grant was looking for a job after her parents had died. That's bleak, isn't it? She's vulnerable. God almighty. God almighty, bro. The ability of abusers to sniff out people like this is almost uncanny, innit? How they're able to just sniff out people who are, already going through it. It's fucking wild. Looking for a job after her two parents had died. When they met, McMahon allegedly made promises of a job at WWE and showered Grant with gifts. During meetings that were supposed to be about the job, he greeted her in his underwear and repeatedly asked for hugs. Oh, of course, Vince McMahon is "where's my hug at" type of guy. Of course he's "where's my hug at." Of course Vince McMahon is a CEO and a board director of "Where's My Hug At." Of course. Then the suit said he pressured her into sexual activities in return to employment and warned her to stay quiet about the interactions. Grant began working for him in 2019. Big up Abby Martinez.
He's very old, bro. Can't use steroids forever.
Tell that to Rogan. Abby Martinez. Tell that to Rogan. I think Rogan thinks he can. I think Rogan thinks he's got the cheat. He's got the cheat mechanism. He's got the... Tell that to Rogan. Rogan thinks he's going to watch. Rogan is one of those guys. He thinks he can do it forever. For sure. But big up Abby Martinez. Appreciate you, my G. A Bishop McMahon created for her in WWE's legal department. Administrator coordinator. He gave her a fake role. Oh God. She said that she expressed concern that the job felt unearned, but McMahon told her that all she needed to do was not tell anyone and that it's just to look legit. Colleagues complained about overflowing inboxes, but Grant had little work. Meanwhile, McMahon allegedly sent her sexually explicit messages and his sexual demands. And can you imagine how isolating that must have been for her? She gets given a role that she doesn't deserve or hasn't earned. She doesn't do much day to day. Her other colleagues probably see that she doesn't do much. She probably gets ostracized by her other colleagues. They don't invite her to lunch. They don't invite her to drinks. She's probably on her own. She doesn't hang around with people on the same level as her. So she has to hang out with all the executives above level. And I'm assuming all executives are probably all dudes, right? It's probably a bit of a boys club in there. So she's the only girl hanging out with all these old men. Creepy. It must have been a nightmare. But that's the definition of golden handcuffs. You're getting money. You're getting paid well. You don't want to quit because you've got no other options. You're kind of, you can't go anywhere else. You can't hang. You don't have friends there because people think you don't deserve the role. What an awful position to be in. In March 2020, McMahon began showing special explicit photographs with Grant, including other WWE executives and the former UFC heavyweight champion, with who the WWE actively trying to sign. Is that fucking Brock Lesnar? No, sorry, is that the other guy? Who else that could that be? That's Thingy, which again, that big white dude. What's his fucking name? That has to be him, right? A former UFC heavyweight champion with whom the WWE was actively trying to sign a new contract. Oh my God, man. Bless her, man. She was going through it. Fuck me. In May 2022 encounter, McMahon defecated on her head. Excuse me? In May 2020, McMahon shit on her head during a threesome. Wow. It's bad enough you have to fuck a 60, 70-year-old guy and then he shits on your head because he can't handle his bowel movements are... Okay. Her mental and physical health deteriorated so badly that McMahon sent her in November to a celebrity doctor for sessions at an alternative clinic where she never received any receipts or bills. McMahon also paid $20,000 to a surgeon on her behalf. McMahon recruited people to have sex with Grant as well, including WWE's former head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. Sounds like John Urine. Let's call him John Piss, who is named and the defendant in the suit. McMahon directed her to visit Piss at his hotel, where she had sex with Piss prior to the start of the workday. The suit alleged, "I've left the hotel feeling bad about myself every time." So I guess she was weirdly enough doing all this stuff because she wanted to feel like she earned her role. So she just started fucking everyone that they told her to fuck. Oh God, what a nightmare. In May 2021, McMahon allegedly told Grant that her presence in the legal department was holding up the hiring of a new general counsel and thus transferred the talent relations department reporting to Pierce. McMahon and Pierce started her new in a lower level position but promised that she would be promoted to vice president. Vice president, McMahon controlled her professional and personal lives, suggested to degradation. According to the suit in 2021 encounter inside the WWE office, the suit said McMahon and Piss forced themselves on her and took turns restraining her to the other, while saying no means yes and take it, bitch. Piss and former wrestler known as Johnny Ace, a longtime executive, left the company in 2022. Piss has publicly commented on the departure. Piss didn't respond. WWE superstar. Oh, that's him, right? Brock Lesnar, yeah. In July 2021, the suit said McMahon instructed Grant to create a personalized sexual content for WWE superstar that they were trying to re-sign. So he tried to get Brock Lesnar to re-sign by sending him nudes of this girl. The suit didn't name the professional wrestler, but described him as both UFC talent and WWE talent. Both familiar with the matter identified the wrestler Brock Lesnar, one of the big UFCW's biggest names. Lesnar didn't respond. The suit said McMahon shared explicit photos with the star and informed Grant he likes what he sees after the star. Oh, God almighty, bro. McMahon texted Grant 2021 and said that was part of the fucking deal. That December, McMahon gave Grant personal cell phone number to WWE star. The wrestler asked her to send a video of herself. Oh my God, bro. Of course it couldn't just be normal shit. He wanted her to send a video of her pissing. The wrestler asked her to send a video of herself urinating, the suit says. After she did, he called her a bitch. Oh, honestly, bro. Honestly. The same month, the suit said the star expressed desire to set a play date, but the snowstorm saved this girl. Thank God for Mother Nature. In January 2022, the suit said McMahon told Grant that his wife, Linda McMahon, had discovered the relationship and he pressured Grant to sign an NDA to exchange for payments. So Linda McMahon, instead of telling her husband to stop or reporting the shit to the police or whatever, she decided to tell her husband to get her to force her to sign an NDA. Linda McMahon, you're a fucking animal. The CEO warned Grant of a reputational. Big up, Abby Martinez. Appreciate you.
Regular sought to ride a activities W my girlfriend.
Yeah, what, getting urinated on? The CEO warned Grant. Big up, everybody. Yeah. Look, if you want to do that, if you want to piss on your girlfriend or she wants to piss on you, all well and true, good, but I don't know, pissing on your employees is wild. Or getting your employees to send videos of themselves pissing to acquire or to get your prospective clients to sign a new deal is insane. The CEO warned Grant of reputational ruin that included pornographic content that he had of her. He paid her about $1 million in February. The suit said later stopped making the payments. That's the really scummy part. You're gonna abuse somebody, then you're not gonna follow through with the payments. Like, you deserve to get all the fucking money sued from you. After Grant signed the NDA, McMahon continued the abuse. According to the suit, alleged that he forced Grant to perform oral sex on him last time they met, and they attempted to traffic her to WWE star in March 2022. She texted explicit photos of Director McMahon, but it didn't meet, the suit said. The lawsuit seeks a judgment that the NDA is invalid under state and federal law and compensatory and punitive damages under other laws. This might actually ruin McMahon, which is a good thing. I'm not sure if it'll ruin the WWE, but this will definitely ruin him personally. She's going to get a massive payout out of this because this is some heinous shit, especially when you read the fucking texts as well. Let's read some of this because the texts are pretty wild, supposedly. Let's see what the texts say. So these are the texts allegedly, right? Is this what he's saying? I'm guessing Vince is the grey one. I love it, that's you, Janelle. You just can't get enough, can you? It's interesting the bits that he's choosing not to spell out. In future is going to be so bad that you'll demand to be fucked twice a day and not just with a freeway or something. Why not let others see the beautiful voluptuous body and watch you shake uncontrollably when you come? When you come, you're 70, bro. You shouldn't be texting this shit. You are 70. They'll go out of their minds. They'll find more friends and will tie you up so you're helpless. I'll direct them. This sounds like some Reddit slutty confession shit. This sounds like, big up the Reddit slutty confessions crew. This sounds like some Reddit fucking fan fiction. This is definitely giving one of those things. Do you think? They'll go out of their minds. Big up Uche. Big up, hey, what's good, Uche?
Now this is what I'd call a big brand breakdown.
I just got what you mean, actually. You're disgusting. You are a disgusting person. It just clicked in my brain what you meant. Oh. Yeah, please no. Please don't do that. That's disgusting. Big up Uche. That's fucking disgusting. That's what. Big bro. Yeah, please, not again. Big up Uche. It's funny because everyone's human shit is different, but when you see human shit, you know what human shit looks like. Anyway, thank you, Uche. Let's continue. I'll direct them to have their way in any way they want. Who can make... Honestly, how much text? Just fuck the girl, man. What is all this text? This is not text. This is not sexting. This is sex noveling. Who can make her... How can make you scream the loudest? 3 exclamation marks. Maybe I'll just line them up and have them squirt in your mouth, your pussy all over your tits and ass all at the same time. You'll be covered in cum. We'll make you eat it all and taste everybody's cum. The next morning you'll be... The next morning you'll be a little bit sore, but you're still going to want more. Your lyrics after that, you're fucking over and over. And maybe he wants 2 other guys to join you with him. Holy shit! You told him you would do anything with him. So if he surprised you with 2 others, you would have no alternative than to take them on. 3 exclamation marks. Oh my god! The stories you could tell them. It makes me want to come right now. Yo, Vince, you deserve jail, bro. By the way, I just thought of what I think is an excellent idea. Maybe you can hint that if he knows someone who can be discreet, it might be better if you and Johnny try him out first so he can get more comfortable before he's introduced to me. Actually, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Yo. Look how many texts look at the novels he's sending her, and she just sends 1 bubble. Give me another week, baby. Look how many novels. Exactly, baby. It's not only 1. He called me this afternoon begging to eat you and fuck you with his nice dick. Give me another week, baby. I'll be ready. I'm feeling more like myself. It's not great, but it's getting better. Tell him soon. I already told him, baby. By the way, Johnny wants Tuesdays, but not this coming one, and the occasional Saturday. But maybe I can shift it to Thursday. Johnny would like to be of the above. Ari, your last picture. You need your panties ripped off by 3 black dicks. Yo. In all 3 holes. What are the 3 holes? Oh, the mouth as well. Sorry, I'm so naive. I was like, women doesn't have 3 holes. Whoops. I was like, where are the 3 holes? Huh? Way up on your pussy. Way up. Why is he spelling pussy like that, brother? Pussy. And way up on your ass and far as they. Oh my god. Way up your ass as far as they will go, but even farther. The thickest cock goes down your throat, so it makes you gag and convulse as those big black cocks pound away. It feels like from the start you're being assaulted, but it made you come.
My mom is asking why I watch Rod Wave read erotic novels.
Fuck your mum, man. Stinger good mum. Fuck you. I'm like 200 pounds lighter than fucking, Rod Wave. Maybe 300 pounds. Fuck you. But big up Stinger good. Appreciate you, brother. Just one continuous orgasm just before you pass out. Those big black dicks squirt their loads of cum inside you. As you lay on your stomach, the cum is coming out of you or all your holes. I'll turn you over and jack off. So they fuck him. Anyway, whatever. Yo, Vince is a fucking dirty boy, bro. I just passed my phone around to a bunch of guys in the tech crew. They were screaming. 2 exclamation marks. Oh my God, she's fucking beautiful. Look at that ass. I'd like to get that. I paused to count out loud how many guys they were. 12. I then said, okay, there's 12 of you. She would love to fuck each and every one of you at one time. The guys cheered. But she will only do it if it takes 3 at a time. This sounds like Brian Callen, brain. This sounds like what Brian Callen will be on. Actually, Vince McMahon kind of looks like Brian Callen, isn't it? This is what Brian Callen will look like, isn't it, when he's that age? This is Brian Callen. This is what Rinks will actually look like. Rinks. Fucking hell. But she will only do 3. She wants one deep in her ass, one the way down her throat, one in her pussy. You can pound her and keep on pounding her till you pop your load. She may scream and try to say no, although that would be difficult to say anything with a cock down her throat. They laughed. I then said, listen, he sends her fucking novels. No matter what, just pound away till you squirt. Doesn't that sound like rape? She says no, that means yes, just keep fucking. Isn't that rape? But hey, what do you know? Baby, these guys are having a blast with me. Oh, are they jacking you off, Vince? Some of them didn't even believe me. So I said, look, let me fuck you the way I fuck her. So I said, you are the greatest fuck in the world. No matter how much you got, you always wanted more. And then I said, she loves cum. Baby. Yo, Vince McMahon's cum must come out like fucking, you're trying to squeeze the last bits of mayo out of your bottle. So why is he like coming so much? His cum must come out in fucking fragments. You know what I mean? His cum must look like my stream sometimes. Like, Why is he like infatuated with this so much, bro? Like, exactly. I don't know. She loves cum, baby. I then said you would take a 10-minute break between each fucking, but then you'd get back on your hands and knees with your ass in the air and say, okay, I'm ready, who's next? I drove them wild, baby. Or should I say you drove them wild? Just imagine if this really happened, baby, how much cum you would have coming out of your holes. I'm done. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I think I'm done. I think I'm done reading that shit. I don't want any more fucking talk about Vince McMahon's cum. Anyways, I'm sure most of you aren't surprised that Vince McMahon has now resigned. I'm sure you're all aware that Vince McMahon has resigned from the TKO board of directors following the sexual abuse lawsuit. I'm sure that comes as no surprise. I'm sure that comes as no surprise that Vince McMahon has resigned. Fucking hell, bro. What a disturbed animal. What a disturbed fucking creature, bro. Why not? Why did he resign? He did nothing wrong. Why did he resign though? He was doing such a great job. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Moving on. So, let's talk about some podcast appearances. Bobby Lee was on Bert Kreischer's BERTcast. I thought it was a really good episode. Mostly because I feel like Bobby Lee and Bert are basically same person at two ends of the scale, really and truly. And I feel like the conversation was good in terms of, you know, opening up Bert's view on a different way to approach your career and shit. But having watched Too Lazy to Try's review and summation of the pod, I need you to relax. So I have a different view on the conclusions that he made, because I think he made the conclusion that I think Too Lazy to Try said this along the lines of you know, Bobby kind of being in the right and Bert being in the wrong in terms of how he approached their careers. But I think they both had decent points in that Bobby Lee telling Bert you need to relax and Bert telling Bobby Lee you need to work harder. I think those are fairly accurate ways to describe both of them. If you were going to give Bert some advice, you'd probably tell him to chill out and to take it down a notch. And you would probably tell Bobby Lee to not be so lazy and do the bare minimum. That's what you'd probably say, I think, to both. So I think the conversation was quite needed for both parties to see. But I just think in general, it's interesting to see how they both approach fame and their careers and what they think is most important. So I'm going to play the clip of them talking, and then of course I'm going to interrupt in between here and there. But if you want to watch it yourself, you can. It's the latest episode of the BERTcast. It features Bobby Lee. It's a really good chat, actually. Check it out. It's quite funny as well, and you can obviously see it for yourself in full. But I'll play the clip, and of course I'll pause in between when I need to.
I need you to relax.
I can't.
Now you have to relax.
I like challenging myself.
So funny. he did a marathon with you?
Yeah, he did. We did the LA Marathon together. I think I'm going to do the Spartan race in Dodger Stadium in February. I don't know. I like challenging myself.
Still?
Yeah.
Stop.
You don't?
I don't like it when you challenge yourself.
You don't like challenging yourself?
I need you to relax.
I can't.
Now you have to relax. You're stressing me out. Every time I see you, you stress me out.
Oh, you stress
Last night,
me out.
you stressed me the fuck out, dude.
Why did I stress you out?
You could get 3 shows, and then also I know you have other things to do, and you're always running around and stressing me out because it makes me feel like I'm not doing shit, man.
And that's probably part of the reason why Bert does what he does. That kind of like, you know, you want to feel better than everybody else type of thing. You kind of want pats on the back for working hard because, you know, with comedy being subjective, you're not really going to have people congratulating you for your great joke writing or for how funny you are because it's so subjective. And because Bert's got quite a hacky premise in that he takes off his t-shirt, most people just aren't going to listen to him or aren't going to think he's funny just off the bat of him taking off his t-shirt. So the only way to really get a lot of praise and to get people to kind of suck up to you is to kind of have work ethic. And obviously one of the defining facets of the GRE verse comedians is that hustle bro culture thing they got going on about the whole sets and rep thing, being in it for 10 plus years. That's what you hear most of them talk about. You don't really hear a lot of comedians associated with Joe Rogan talk about being funny or putting on a good show. All you hear them talk about is how hard they work and how many podcasts they do, how many shows they do and shit, how many stops on the tour they're doing. But it's never really about, hey, was the show funny? Am I being funnier? Am I getting more laughs? Are the shows fun? Are the fans having fun? It's never about that. So you can kind of understand why Bert does it.
What's your day? What's your average day look like?
Nothing. Not like yours.
My day is packed. It starts at like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Take Isla to school, get back, work out, podcast, shoot promos, take fucking conference calls.
That's a lie, by the way. I'm pretty certain he doesn't take his kids to school. I'm pretty certain he doesn't wake up at that time. He's probably hungover. And yeah, I think that all that shit's a lie, personally, for me. I think that's a huge lie.
I don't do any of that.
Why?
Why? That's why don't you ask yourself that? Why do you do it?
because I feel like I'm leaving stuff on the table.
Yeah, but you know what? Nothing that you achieve is going to fix you.
That's a very good point, but I also think it's wrong. I personally think if you're Bert Kreischer, deep down, you know you're not at that level of fame and popularity because you're super funny. You know you're kind of there because of your personality, because of your larger than life personality, because you're a great hang, because you remind people of their college roommate, of an old uncle, whatever that thing. But it's not really because you're funny. If that's the case, you know that novelty of who you are will die off eventually. I think it's probably a good thing if you're Bert to not leave money on the table, to go for broke. I know this sounds odd, but I honestly understand why he does what he does as hard as he does, because there's no guarantee this is going to last. People soon, it's already turning. The tide is already turning on Bert, public reception, right? People are already getting annoyed with him. And you never know when that could end up impacting his actual bottom line. So he's right in doing everything and taking all opportunities, because you never know when that can all get taken away from you and then you're fucked. So stack up your money, make as much as you can now, and while you can, because why not? You're fucking Bert Kreischer. It's not like people are going to be watching you until you're fucking older age and shit because of your talent. They're going to be fans of you now because they're fans of you now, but you never know, it could change in the future.
It doesn't.
For real?
Yeah. The whole point is living in the moment and just feeling your feelings and just, you have to work and pay bills and stuff like that, but I think you do extra and I don't like it.
No, so is there a part of you that I couldn't be you because...
I couldn't be you either.
I couldn't be you because
you're lazy.
I would say you're everyone's favorite comic and you've never done a special.
So?
I know, but don't you want to do specials?
No.
Why not?
Why?
That's a really interesting premise, isn't it? That he's never done a special. And I wonder why that is. My initial reaction will be because he's lazy, because doing a special basically is a time capsule and is a kind of record book, permanent, of the jokes that you had at that particular time. So you can't basically do them again. Basically, once you do a special, it's kind of like you ridding yourself of those jokes. You can't really tell them again, unless you want to do a tour based on those special jokes. So basically, Bobby Lee, from what I've heard, again, I've not seen him perform live, but I've heard that he does the same set he's been doing for like 20 years. So if that's the case, if he does a special, he'll do those same jokes, but then he can't do those same jokes anymore. You have to write new jokes, and writing new jokes is hard. So that's probably why he doesn't write a special. I don't think it's because he's this purist artist. I think it's more so because he's scared of giving up that material and having to write new material, because he's probably not that confident or doesn't have enough faith in himself that he could write new stuff. That's probably where it comes from. So I do agree with Bert that, he's a bit privileged in that way, that he doesn't need to do a special, but he also should do one, really.
Let me, right? Okay. Number one, I don't want to do stadiums.
Okay.
I've done them with you guys.
Yeah. You don't enjoy it?
No. I like clubs.
Yeah.
That's something that I love about Bobby saying that. I love that he said that he doesn't, because I've always wondered, how could you actually enjoy stadium shows, especially if you've come up from doing club shows, because it's similar to kind of my sort of pathway that I'm trying to lead myself down of becoming a professional DJ. There's really nothing better than playing in a, let's say, 1,500 cap venue. Anything over that, it's hard to really have any sense of atmosphere, to really connect with the audience. It's not the same. Really, anyway, under 700 is probably the fucking perfect number, because everyone's kind of on top of you. It's amazing. But I think even more so for comedians, if you're in a comedy club, being able to look in people's eyes is a big part of comedy, and being able to connect with people, especially if you're doing crowd work and shit. Suddenly doing that to then performing Madison Square Garden, where literally the nearest person to you is hundreds of feet away, is probably not the same thing. But in general, I also think there are some comedians whose type of comedy probably is best performed in a comedy club with low ceilings, dingy lights and shit, a brick wall backdrop, that's probably where they shine the most. This idea that theater comedy is like the apex, is like the top echelon of it, is again another consequence of the GRE verse, where like success is deemed at how many tickets you can sell in theaters, when it's like, really, stand-up comedy should be performed in shitty dive bars and horrible comedy clubs where the tables are sticky, right? And they serve chicken tenders and shit. That's where probably comedy should be performed at. That's where probably you have a good time at. I can't imagine you're going to have the greatest time at theaters and stuff. And again, depends on the comedian, but I do like that he's like, hey, I'm not really into theaters, you know? So that's kind of your thing. You
go into a club, you can touch people in the front row. Also, then not like sexually, but like, tap, like, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And then it's also, then you can sometimes meet them afterwards.
Yeah.
And get some side gash or whatever. And then, is that rude?
No.
Call it side gash?
No, wait, where is the gash?
Yeah, no, I think someone made a good point there about clubs and being a good paycheck, but it also just must be good for the ego. Obviously, the money helps, I'm sure, but I think a lot of it, especially if you're Bert and those type of dudes and Rogan and shit, they love coming out to that theater audience, to that stadium audience. They must love it. That feeling of coming out and it's like there's fucking 30,000 plus people cheering your name and stuff. That must be a hard thing to kind of, like not want to do, and then go back and performing in clubs. Yeah, that kind of roar from that crowd, especially if you're into that sort of stuff, seeing your fucking massive head on a massive LED screen, that must be part of it.
The vagina.
I think it's front bottom gash.
Oh, yeah. Why do Asian chicks have that on the side? It goes this way.
But don't you have any aspirations? Like, why do you do anything then? Like, why do you act in movies? Why do you act in TV shows? Is it for money?
That's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, but no, I like I like performing. I like doing pods because I get to express myself, and I like acting sometimes. But it's like
when you did the Bad Friends tour, wasn't it fun to go into a theater, have it sold out, have everyone hear you? You do something, you come up with something new, and you get off stage and you feel like alive.
Yeah, but I did that. I can do that in the OR as well.
That's not the same.
It is the same.
No, it's not.
In your mind, see, you're twisting it, man. It's not about numbers.
No, but there is something about being financially stable. You don't have a family to take care of.
But
I love this. This is one of the best delusions ever. Again, it's another Jerry thing, and I think, bless Brendan, I think this is the major reason why he's quit. This inability to be around these guys is kind of, now that the voices around him are kind of quietened and no one's really talking like this, it's easier to quit. But when you're in this kind of culture, it's difficult to not see the world like this, where he's like, yeah, I'm working this hard because of my family. It's like, bro, come on. Because you have really? You're on tour all the time and avoiding your family because you want to help your family? You haven't made enough money now that you can just relax? Really? Come on, let's be real. You just loved it. And again, there's no problem with it. You love being on the road. You love touring. You love fucking, what you call it? Comedy club waitress side fucking gash, whatever it may be. It's all well and good. Yeah, but this idea that it's all for the family is hilarious. And I think Bobby calls it out.
What?
And I don't know this about you because I'm not your accountant.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm pretty sure you don't ever have to work for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
I would say the same about you.
Yeah. Now, you would have to maybe let go of certain things.
Like,
because people have lifestyles.
Yeah.
Right? I try to lower my lifestyle. So it's like, I'll buy one pair of shoes a month.
Oh, yeah.
No, mine's are like $800 shoes.
No, I buy expensive shoes too. But
Yeah.
I buy like we'll go to Philly and I'll buy 13 pairs of shoes.
That's the thing though. I don't think Bert has, my personal opinion, I don't think Bert has, that's why I kind of like Bert. I'm not going to lie. That's why I kind of like Bert. Because at least he's honest. He doesn't lie. Like, he's honest. He's a fame whore. He's always wanting to be famous. He wants to be the center of attention. He only cares about himself. He only wants to hear his own stories. He waits to hear you. He waits so you can shut up so he can say his story. Like, he's honest. And I feel like he's classic in the sense that he just loves the attention. He he probably gets off more on the attention than he does on the money he makes. So I don't think he's one of those people who has a crazy monthly budget or monthly nut that he has to cover. I don't think so. I think it's more so like he just loves the attention. He loves the adulation from fans. He loves to tell stories. He knows that living's the only way to have more stories, so he keeps on living to full stories so he can tell them on pods, and then that can make him more money. Like, he just loves that thing of it. So that's probably one of the redeeming qualities about Bert. He is exactly what he says on the tin in that respect, if that makes sense. Exactly, Dan P. He likes to be famous, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just comes across odd because he's like a middle-aged man and he's a comedian and shit. It's a bit whatever, but he's actually unapologetically really desperate to be super famous. Like, he would love nothing more than to be what's his name, Jack Black level of famous. He would love that, right? Especially within like Hollywood circles or whatever. He would love that. That's what he wants. He always wants to be that guy, like, oh my god, Bert's here. You know what I mean, he wants that kind of reaction everywhere he goes.
Stupid.
I know.
Because you're not gonna wear it.
I don't wear them,
and you think it's gonna fix you because at the time it feels. It doesn't.
I love that I'm getting therapy from you.
I'm not doing therapy. I'm not doing therapy with you.
But like, is there not a part of you? Because I think everyone, college kids have your mentality where they're like, yeah, I'm not going to sign up for too many classes this semester because I don't want to be overwhelmed. I want to enjoy college. But like,
I've got a point. I agree with Bert a little bit here. I think this is one of the reasons why I kind of stopped listening to the Tiger Belly a little bit, and even Bad Friends. Bobby's kind of infuriating in a way. This is part of the reason why he's endearing, but he's also infuriating in that he's like an adult baby. He's never really grown up, and he's kind of been afforded a lifestyle that allows him not to grow up because he's a stand-up comedian. But that's not really what most of us can do as adults, especially him. He's like in his 50s or 60s, and he's basically created this lifestyle for himself where he can be in a state of arrested development. So if you're Bert and you're looking at Bobby, you're like, you know, it's like you could do more, but you don't want to because it require work and it require you doing stuff. And you don't want to do stuff. You just want to do the bare minimum and get the most out of it, which is okay, but let's just call a spade a spade. But then on Bobby Lee's side, you can also understand, you're not saying, hold on, you've made more money than you can ever spend in a lifetime. Take the foot off the pedal. It's not that deep. So I think both sides of the argument are right. Literally both sides are right.
At a certain age, don't you aspire?
Aspire what?
Like, don't you
aspire? What?
Don't you have something? You're Asian. How do you not have the thing that all Asians have?
Well, first of all, there's different kinds of Asians. You have the Yao Ming kind. They can do baskets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you have the fucking Yo-Yo Ma kind.
Yo-Yo Ma's, I thought Yo-Yo Ma was black.
Why? Because it's Yo-Yo? You never seen a photo of him?
No.
Yeah.
The only time I saw a photo of Yo-Yo Ma, I can't really say this. Or I can.
Anyway, you get the gist. I think they were both right. I really do think they're both right. I don't know. I don't know. I think they're both right. I understand where they're coming from. You know, it is what it is. A good conversation. I think if anything, they both look at each other and couldn't imagine ever having each other's career. But I also think it probably speaks to how great things are for them, that they can both be quite successful despite not being the greatest at what they do. And maybe despite, in Bobby Lee's case, having the same content or material for 20 plus years, and in Bert's case, being one of the most hackiest comedians out there. So it goes to show that if you just find your niche, you find your crowd, you find your fans, they can basically sustain you the whole way through. And, you know, it's no real surprise also, since the movie flopped, Bert's been kind of doubling down on the stand-up. Not sure if you've kind of spotted this, guys, but I think Bert's realized also stand-up is his main thing, and obviously podcasting and shit, and he stopped trying to be a Hollywood star because he just probably doesn't have the chops for it. Maybe the movie wasn't right for him, who knows, but that's obviously another thing as well that's kind of helping things go the way it's going. So good conversation. Really recommend you check it out. Bertcast available now. Bobby Lee and Bert sit down, have a good powwow, and talk about all the stuff that you heard there and some more and some more. Now let's cover Bert and Tom talking about Cat Williams. They were so scared to mention him. They were so scared to talk about it. It was so funny. So this clip is hilarious because I felt like they didn't really get into the detail of what Cat Williams said, which is understandable. But I feel like none of these guys did. None of these guys actually spoke about what Cat Williams spoke about regarding him saying, oh, Rogan wouldn't have me on his show because he only has unfunny comedians on there and shit, right? And I think he mentioned something about them being 6 of them, which I think is a throwaway number. But since then, everyone's been trying to debate who those 6 are. For sure, in that 6 is definitely Brendan Schaub, right? We know that for sure. But I think it was more so Cat said that as more so as a point that Brett Joe obviously is pushing his friends more who maybe are objectively not the funniest, as opposed to having actually the funniest people on there because they're not his friends, right? And that's something that we know Brett Joe to do. He doesn't really have people on his show that he doesn't know. I think it's odd because I think Joe's more open to have people that are not involved in stand-up on his show that he doesn't know. Like, they wrote a good book, if they had a viral clip go viral, if they're involved in some controversy or something, culture war shit, he's more open to have people on his show like that for the first time than he is to have a comedian who he doesn't know. He doesn't really do that. If you have to, he kind of has to know you. So it's almost like a gatekeeper thing. He kind of is, gatekeeping his own pod in that regard when it comes to comedy. So I understand what Cat Williams was saying. But some of these guys don't want to admit it or talk about it, which is understandable, because if you do, you're kind of admitting that Rogan gave you your career on a silver platter, which none of them want to admit, which again is an odd thing as well, because I don't think it's a bad thing to have a rich, successful friend give you shit or help you out, because why not? It's your friend, isn't it? So the fact that they don't want to admit it or don't want to acknowledge it is almost kind of disrespecting the blessing in a way, if that makes any sense. Let's play the clip anyway so you can hear and what I mean.
Like, I do it with Cat Williams. If I ran into Cat Williams, I'd geek the fuck out. I'd geek the fuck out
on Cat.
And I know I'm probably one of the white boys he hates. I'm certain I'm in that 6 comedians of Rogan that he hates. I'm certain there's no way Cat Williams has ever turned on Netflix, seen me take my shirt off and be like, ha, can't wait to see what this is. Man, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Rogan's got good taste in comics.
Yeah, I think we're both in it then.
You think you're in? No, he likes you. Who do you think his 6 comedians are? It's not Shane Gillis. The 6 are me, you, Ari. Ari's twice, probably. You know he doesn't like Ari.
No.
There's no way Cat Williams is an Ari Shaffir fan.
Probably not.
You know he doesn't like Mark Norman.
Don't you find it interesting? These guys have nothing to, I don't know. You don't expect them to trash their friends, but it's like, don't you guys have anything to say on this controversial topic, on this interesting topic, actually? They have everything to say about all these other cultural war nonsenses that's happening in the news, but when it comes to stuff about youth, they have one-word answers, like nothing to say really, not really digging in and, making it, nothing. They were kind of scared to address it. It's like, bro, like, come on. And again, that's what I think before I said that, what's his name? I would like to see more of that actually on Rogan, where he would actually go out and try to get people on he doesn't know, just to kind of push them, or to kind of, hey, I saw your special, I don't really know you, let me get you in your show. Whereas most of the time it's always his friends, and obviously, Rogan's sensibilities when it comes to stand-up comedy, a little bit dicey, It's not the best judge of stand-up. So that would be good to see a little bit more of. And that might actually help to change people's opinion on, the people that he does platform. Because unfortunately, he has all these guys on all the time. They're always talking about how much of a beast they all are and killers, all this sort of nonsense. And people are sat there like, that's the thing is, I think it's insulting to our intelligence, isn't it? Because they keep talking about each other like they're all beasts and killers. But then we see their specials and we're like, no, you're not. Like, hold on. Why are you guys talking about comedy this way when you guys aren't even that great? I think that's the thing that Rogan gets a lot. Rogan kind of is like sits there and pontificates about stand-up and, ins and outs of it. And then people are like, hold on, like, we've seen your stand-up though. You're not good. Like, why do you have so much to say?
It's the rotation. It's Kaz. If he's saying 6, that's just a number. He just means the rotation of regulars that appear.
But there are an exact 6.
You, me,
it's Sober October and Protect My Parks.
Well, there you go. Then
and he probably thinks Ari are 2 different Jewish guys.
It should be Brendan as well.
Yeah.
The fact that they don't mention Brendan is also, to be fair, maybe big up Wingus McDingus.
Big up Has. Big up the chat. Glad to see you back with another random show. Also, bean cheese, bean cheese, bean cheese, bean cheese, bean cheese, Bert sucks, bean cheese, bean cheese.
Bert sucks, lols. Bert sucks. Oh, yo, the Bert hate has been fucking relentless lately, and it's been fucking hilarious to see the Bert hurt. The Bert hate hurt. But big us, Wingus McDingus. Appreciate you, my G. Appreciate ya.
Those are the 6.
He's like, the one that looks like a coal miner, and then the other one that looks really Jewish. The one that talked about Kobe, and then that other one that just has blood coming out his ass.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, well, I guess.
Do you think Bert drinks so much that he's starting to look Asian? Is that a joke somebody already made?
That's just a number. He just means the rotation of regulars that appear.
But there are.
Why is his eyes like that? Do you think he gets so fucked up that he's starting to look Asian? Is that possible? Why is his eyes so squinty? Does that make sense? Or am I being racist? I hope I'm not being racist.
6.
You, me,
it's Sober October
Ari,
and Protect My Parks.
Well, there you go. Then
and he probably thinks Ari are 2 different Jewish guys.
Yeah, those are the 6.
He's like, the one that looks like a coal miner, and then the other one that looks really Jewish. The one that talked about Kobe, and then
his eyebrows always been so high up, and he's like, eyes are really squinty. Has it always been like that?
That other one that just has blood coming out his ass.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, well, I guess. Who
do you think Kat's favorite white comedian is?
Well, he gave a plug to Ron White. Remember, and I thought that was rad. He was like,
Gary Owen.
No,
he gave a shout to Gary Owen.
He did give a shout to Gary?
It was a shady shout. Like Gary had to do research and go, was he shading me?
Oh, that's right. I'm thinking that Gary told this story, a shitty story about Steve Harvey after that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I met Steve Harvey. He was fucking awesome. I met Cedric.
Cedric's rad.
I geeked out.
I bet you did.
You didn't see that?
No. Oh, yeah. I did see that.
I think I found out where it comes from.
I think he thought you were the valet or something, right?
No.
Wasn't it?
Anyway, you get the point. You get the point. They didn't really address the Cat Williams thing. They spoke about it for like 2 minutes, even though they clickbaited the fuck out of it in the title. That's why I don't want to hear anybody complain about my clickbait, because they got that fucking Cat Williams picture in the fucking thumbnail. It's in the title, and they speak about it literally for 3 seconds or 3 minutes, if that. They don't really speak about it at all. But yeah, we know who the comedians are that Cat Williams mentioned. It would actually be an interesting topic to talk about in terms of stand-up and how people make it and stuff, but I think none of these guys are, because that's what I think. I don't know. I don't know. If that was me, I'd be annoyed. If I help you, I'm not going to ask you to like big me up, but you then can't disrespect my help and act like you did it on your own, And I feel like these guys kind of do that. They kind of act like they did it on their own. It's like, no, it's, you obviously worked hard for it, but let's also, elephant in the room here, like Rogan's made all of you guys. It's like, it's okay, not a bad thing, but let's be actually honest about what happened in it. Moving on. In more BERT celebration news, courtesy of Variety, BERT Kreischer signs a new Netflix deal for 2 more stand-up comedy specials. Yes, you guessed it. If you were fed up of BERT, you were annoyed, you didn't want to see less of him, you're going to see more of him going forward. More of BERT going forward. Variety. Comedian BERT Kreischer is sticking with Netflix and signing up with the streamer to film 2 more comedy specials. This reps the 4th and 5th specials for BERT Kreischer as Netflix, following Razzle Dazzle, Hey Big Boy, and Secret Time. The first 2 comedy specials will be filmed by KREISCHER at the Mahaffey Theater in St. Petersburg, Florida, I guess, in St. Petersburg, Florida, on July the 6th. His homecoming of sorts for KREISCHER, who grew up nearby Tampa, where most recently sold out the Amalie Arena. KREISCHER's Florida bona fides include attending Florida State University, where he's famously dubbed the #1 party in the nation. So that one article is still following him to this day. That one article is probably the best thing that happened to him, isn't it? For better or worse. KREISCHER will executive produce the 2 specials along with Lee. Wow, he got Leanne KREISCHER executive credit details. So she's getting a little salary from this. Nice. You see, would Brendan ever do this for his wife? Come on, this is what you're meant to be doing. This is what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be doing this fucking spousal nepotism, right? Spousal nepotism is what you should be doing. You should be giving your wife executive production fucking credits because she fucking sorts out your outfit or something. That's what you should be doing. Judy Marmor and Tony Hernandez, Jeff Tomsick and Jordan Levy. Tomsick is also director, while KREISCHER's Bertie Boys Productions behind the specials. The comedian is currently on the road with Top Software Tour here in the US, Canada, and Europe. KREISCHER's other credits include the KREISCHER's second annual Fully Loaded Comedy Festival took place in 16 ballparks over the years. KREISCHER viewed. So yeah, good to see. Again, more proof to me that comedy is subjective because I don't really find Bert funny. I think he's funny and a good vibe on podcasts sometimes. It can be super exhausting most of the time, but I think his stand-up specials are horrendous. But it's very subjective because you see the amount of people that go and watch him perform at these ballparks, even if it is because they're going to see other comedians. I don't care. The fact that he fucking sells out most of his shows and shit is proof that most people like what he does. Most people like the fact that he gets on stage and takes off his t-shirt. Most people like the fact that he shows people his shit stains and stuff. It's bizarre to me, but again, it's proof that if you find your niche and people love you as a person, because I think, again, Bert's another one where his personality is probably the thing that sells him the most, as apart from his actual comedy. His personality, people actually love his personality and they want to support him, and they do so, and he's been very successful at it. So it's great to see. And yeah, I guess the numbers don't lie, because Netflix also, let's be real, Netflix don't play. If your numbers don't work, they don't re-sign anybody. They cancel shows first season if they put massive amounts of money behind them. So Bert specials behind the scenes must be doing crazy numbers. Like, the analytics must be nuts on Bert specials. We probably don't listen to them. We are probably not checking out his specials, but the analytics must be crazy for Bert. So hey, congrats to him. Hopefully it works out. I will be obviously watching the specials to review them. I'm not anticipating anything brilliant, but we never know. You never know. He could end up surprising us. You never fucking know. Before we continue, can I just quickly show you this? AKADEMIKS' on and off girlfriend, Shay Glizzy. Look what she uploaded on her Instagram stories. Look at this. Trigger warning, for those of you out there that have small children around, and those of you out there that have, you know, an ick for these type of bodies. But look at what Shay Glizzy uploaded onto her Instagram stories. Look at this. Big up the AKADEMIKS chat subreddit. Look what she uploaded. This fat lard keeps threatening me. You smell like tartar sauce. Don't bathe in 5 days. Leave me alone, please. It's over. And she uploaded this screen grab of a video that looks like it shows one half of AKADEMIKS' body sitting in his streamer chair with his t-shirt off. Look at what she uploaded. Yo, this woman is fucking evil, man. This woman is fucking evil. Look at what she uploaded. Can you see this? Can you see this? And look at the caption. You got more titties than me and bootied you. Isn't bootied you like, is she talking about water? Is that like liquid? Bootied you, that's water, right? Jesus Christ, Shay Glizzy, man. But to be fair to AKADEMIKS, she still let this guy lie on top of her. So you kind of have to look at yourself a little bit in the mirror, you know? Letting someone like this lie on top of you, you have to look at yourself like that. But can you imagine how embarrassing this is? Like, honestly, this woman is Academics' biggest op. Forget fucking Little Baby. Forget Meek Mill. Big us NJ Ranger.
Holy shit, I recognize this body. It's the prize.
It's the prize, exactly. It's the prize, exactly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine some, like, shouting at girls on Fresh and Fit and questioning their lifestyle decisions or their lifestyle choices and how they conduct themselves online, and then you look like this, is a level of disrespect I don't know how to even, you know, put into words. Can you imagine? You're a young female and you have this guy across the table from you screaming at you that you're not valuable, that you're run through, no one's going to wife you up because you've got more than 2 bodies. Like, can you imagine what must be going through your head when you're looking at this guy shouting at you like, bro, you can't even do a press up. You can't even see your own penis. Like, what are you talking about? God almighty, man. And I do believe this, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Uche. Stinky elbow creases. I believe this, you know. I know she's toxic and she lies a lot, but I believe this caption that he doesn't bath or doesn't shower. I believe this. I believe he's not the showering kind of guy. I think he's the type of dude that just puts on a new t-shirt. He wakes up in the morning, washes his face, if that, and just puts on a fresh t-shirt. Or probably he's one of those other type of dudes, and we all know them, who just puts on anti-deodorant. He doesn't fucking shower. He just puts on a fresh t-shirt, sprays antiperspirant and goes on. And then we got some text here to show you again. Allegedly, this is Academics texting her. I tried to I guess FT is FaceTime, right? I tried to FaceTime you and you wouldn't pick up. She texts back and says, no, you didn't, liar, insecure. She texts her and says, LOL, cool up. You too horny if that what you gotta do to make yourself feel better. So I think she's telling her, I think Academics is trying to tell her not to fuck people or something. Did she also dox his number? Did this girl dox Academics' number here? Fucking hell. Bro, I said it to you on the phone. She texts back and says, okay, I didn't want to talk anymore. Just enjoy yourself. He says, FaceTime me, cuz. I'm calling you. You ain't picking up. Bitch. LOL, gaslight some more. I don't like you. Leave me alone. This woman is Academics' biggest op. He doesn't know it. This woman is Academics' biggest op and he doesn't know it. She's the main reason why he's going to come crashing down and fail in some way, shape or form. This woman is his biggest op and he doesn't know it. God damn, this is bad. Whoa, this is bad. God damn it. But yeah. That body picture is fucking insane though, isn't it? That body picture is wild, bro. Who sits down topless on a streaming chair anyway? That big. You gotta be sweating buckets, isn't it? Your back's gotta be sticking on that shit. Who sits in front of a streaming chair topless? Looking like that. Fucking hell, bro. Anyways, I'm not gonna say anymore. Let's see what else you got here. Oh, let's move on from that one and let's see what these guys are. Oh, actually, let's play this clip as well. Let's play this one. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'll get this up on here. Yes, this one. Lush One was back. Is back on the pods. Lush One is back doing his fucking streams and shit, whatever. Big up Just Went Digital for the clip. It features Lush One breaks down in tears on live streams. I want to watch this actually and see what Lush One's doing, because unfortunately he relapsed. He was sober for a while and now he's back doing drugs. He's trying to justify it, and again, maybe it's an odd justification, but he's trying to say that he needed to be sober at the time because he was doing some crazy shit, and now that he's not doing crazy shit anymore, he can go back to doing drugs because he's okay. I don't know. Weird justification, but let's just run with it anyway. This is Lush One breaks down in tears, courtesy of Just Went Digital. Big up Just Went Digital.
The floor is literally breathing. Like, I'm seeing like,
oh, he's on shrooms or something.
well, they're like building all the different like patterns and designs.
Oh, that clogged up nose. I know that sound. That fucking clogged up nose. He hasn't got allergies like me, I'm pretty sure. He doesn't got allergies like me.
Whoa. Bro, why are you so worried about, oh, why were you on Clemson Street, fool? How did you wind up gangbanging, fool? How did you, shut the fuck up, bro. Get off my dick, fool. You guys gotta understand something. Like, my mom is very sick. My mom has Alzheimer's, you feel me? Like, she be forgetting a lot, fool. They do not be answering the phone, though. That's why I be having to pull up on them. We'll see if they answer the phone.
Good evening. Hello.
Mom, what's up? It's me.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you, mommy?
I'm good. There's a little bit of mail here.
Having a mum that sounds like that, a lovely, nice white lady, but then you sounding and looking the way Lush does, must be so embarrassing, isn't it? Coming from a family where your brother is literally the CEO of Indeed.com and you turn out like this, must be so embarrassing, isn't it? Like, it must be so embarrassing. His mum sounds like a legit, lovely, nice white lady who's going through a tough period in her life, probably needs all the support that she can get. And this guy is 40 plus years old trying to justify his drug use because his mom's going through a tough time. Hey, maybe grow up and just be there for your mum, innit? Maybe just do that first. You're not 20 anymore. You can't blame your drug use on your poor upbringing. Like, grow up. Go and chill with your family for a bit. Look after your mum during her latter years. Like, it's not that deep. You can party later.
Here for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let me see there. I think there's one here. Let me check a second.
Hey, don't worry about it, Mom. I'll pick it up later this week.
Sunday dinner every Sunday, all together.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. With what, Uncle Dick and Aunt Pat, and you feel me, and right?
Yep. Yep.
That's right.
Everybody. Yeah.
Mom, like, hey, I hope I never caused you too much stress. I know I used to, like, you know, I was like messed up for a while, and you know, I hope you don't.
Was also calling up your mum for this type of stuff, content wise, when she's suffering from Alzheimer's, is pretty diabolical, isn't it? It's pretty diabolical. His mum is allegedly suffering from, like, it's pretty diabolical, isn't it? Why are you doing this? Why are you putting your mum on air like this?
Think about that when you think about me, you know?
You know what? I don't, because I think that you're leading a good life now.
I'm trying, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm
leading a good life now. He's probably got an 8-ball in his pocket right now. His iPhone's probably covered in residue. God damn it, bro.
I am doing my best. Like, I really am. And like, you know, I just don't want to be a bother to you and Dad. You know what I mean?
You're not. Do we ever say that you're a bother?
Nah, but that's because I be out the way. I don't.
Time for something. But
yeah.
Here. So you should come and get it.
I will, Mom. It's really just an excuse to go visit you anyway.
That's one of the That's one of the sad bits, and one of the harsh realities of growing. That's probably what. Maybe this is a weird thing to say, but I bet you if you're having kids or if you're trying to raise kids, I bet you one of the hardest things to do is to raise kids in extreme poverty and extreme wealth and privilege. I bet you either ends of the scale are just as hard. I bet you parents have parents that are wealthy and parents that are super poor have probably way more in common in terms of how hard it is to raise kids to be well-adjusted, good members of society. I bet you it's super difficult, really difficult. A kid in poverty, growing up in a horrible neighborhood and having, you know, temptation to do bad shit and falling with the wrong crowd, it's pretty difficult to keep that kid on the straight and narrow. To tell them, you know, like when you're a kid, imagine your mum nowadays, you know, God bless my parents, but I think 90% of the people that my parents told me were bad for me ended up being bad for me. Like legit, 90% of them. But when you're a kid and your mum tells you not to hang out with a certain person, you're like, you know, get fucked. I want to hang out with this person. My friend. I like them. I love them. What do you know, mom? Yeah. But it's probably the same thing when you're rich, right? When you're rich and you're wealthy, you probably can tell the kids that are trying to take advantage of your kid, who are just using them for money and shit or for rides around town. Do you know what I mean? It's probably the same. And sometimes, and again, look at the contrast. Sometimes you have a kid, you bring them up, and they end up being the Indeed CEO. And sometimes you have a kid, you bring him up, you end up being Lush.
So it's really just an excuse to go visit you anyway, you know?
Wait, Daddy's talking to me at the same time. Hold on. Yeah.
She found, okay, my dad's saying she found her underneath the coffee table. It's all, hey, I just want, look, don't worry about that, okay?
Okay, I won't.
I just want to tell you guys that I love you, you know? And will you tell Dad that I love him too?
Dad is here, and I'll say, Nicholas loves you, Peter. I love him.
Let it out, loved one. Let it out, loved one.
Yeah, nah, like, you know, Dad inspired me a lot, you know, with following his dreams, you know?
Daddy is inspiring, you're right. He's an inspiring person. Because he's a creative person, and he actually made a very good living.
Mom, what did you...
Creativity.
Mom, what'd you think when, like, when I was like, yo, I'm going to be a rapper?
I thought it was great. I you know, whatever my...
This is part of the reason why I think, like, we need to have better drug education and shit. And that's why I maybe agree with Tim Dillon's point of view that people need to get better at doing their drugs, because this is really unfair. If you're going through your situation, you're spiraling, whatever's going on, to pull in all your family and friends in all your fuck shit is kind of gross. To be as self-destructive as you want, fuck up your own life in a way, but to pull in people that have nothing to do with it and to make them, you know, unwilling participants is gross, isn't it? It really is. You're allowed to have a spiral, do what you want, freak out, have a sesh, whatever, but it kind of goes back to my dislike and displeasure. I'm sure most of you have seen this. When you're out in a bar somewhere and a guy or girl comes in who's trying to be the life of the party by force, and they try to like force you into their vortex of fun, like, and try to like, you know, befriend you and stuff. It's annoying. It's like, no, have your own fun, be a Tasmanian devil with your own friends, but don't try to pull me into your vortex. I'm not interested. I'm here talking to my own friend, or I'm here having my own drink. I'm here looking at my phone. Leave me alone. But you those people that try to like, oh my God, hi, what's your name? Oh, your hair's weird. It's like, go the fuck away. And it's the same thing with this. Like, if you're having an episode, have your episode in, like, be a grown up and have your own episode with dignity by yourself. Like, don't be calling up your mum that has fucking Alzheimer's and be what? Parading out, like, honestly, this Lush guy is a loser, bro.
My sons wanted to do. I just wanted them to find something that they wanted to do. That I thought that was a great thing. That you were certainly a kid that was very musical, and you were always making up songs, making up words, and making up things. And so I figured that's perfect. I thought it was great.
That's good.
This the most important rhyme I ever wrote. Speaking from the heart, and I ain't tripping on no clever quotes. Getting closer to my dreams like Guapale. Gotta say my...
Anyway, as you can tell, the raps are not good. The raps are not good. But the second clip I want to play for you about Lush is this clip, where Lush and House Phone, two of the addicts in fucking residence, right? Two of the biggest caners in the world. And probably if you're in recovery or if you're, you know, trying to get sober, you probably shouldn't be hanging around a House Phone. Probably not. You know, we all know why. But Lush talks about his sobriety and why he became sober. And it's an interesting conversation because it almost feels like he's trying to retcon what happened and trying to justify his, you know, his current state of affairs, because obviously he's kind of gone back into doing drugs and shit. It's kind of heartbreaking to listen to, but I just want to hear you play. I want to play a little bit of it so you can hear what I mean.
That's the funny thing. Like, I've never been a Skid Row knock before. I've never randomly copped drugs.
Yeah, me either.
I'm
me
not
either,
that
bro.
type of like. Yeah, like
I have randomly bought drugs in a bar before.
Of course, I've randomly bought.
Don't you find that interesting? And I see that a lot, especially with some of my friends I party with. I love the snobbery. I love the kind of like, yeah, but I've never done this. It's like, bro, like, we're all terrible. We all use drugs. We all drink. It's all terrible. There's nothing good that comes out of this. No one, you know, fucking wins the Turner Prize or whatever because they do recreational drugs. It's all terrible. We should all quit. It's all destructive. We do it because it's fun. But this kind of snobbery and looking down, oh yeah, I never did this, I never did that type of thing is so bizarre. And a lot of my friends, people that hang around, have had the same sort of attitude. And I don't really understand why, because it's like, all drugs are bad. Everything under the sun, doesn't matter what it is, it's all bad. Ideally, we should all just be drinking water, green juice, eating salads and shit, right? That's what we should all be doing, running, living healthily, like living a healthy lifestyle. We shouldn't be doing any of this sort of stuff. It'd probably save us a bunch of money also. So the fact that they try to justify this in this weird way is odd.
Drugs, fool.
I've randomly bought drugs, but not like that.
But I'm not.
Oh, I buy drugs, but not on Skid Row. It's like, what? So anyway, whatever. What do you think of Jordan?
That's too deep, gang.
Like, look, back in the day,
that's not even partying no more. That's just straight addiction.
And I've taken.
You hear that? Just because you're buying on Skid Row, you're more of an addict than somebody that just buys what? From a dude at some fucking dive bar somewhere. What a crazy way to justify your fucking... Yeah, I don't know.
Party drugs to an extent that's way beyond. And yeah, like I've had
for
my...
sure, for sure.
I mean, but
listen, wait, real quick. Just while you say that, you say you've taken party drugs way beyond. So why do you think that that won't happen this time? Or why do you think that it's okay to like go back and like dabble even a little bit?
Here's the reality, and I'll just keep it 1,000. I feel like, you know, I'm chopping it up with you, like, you know, ain't no filters.
I wouldn't even ask you that if I like didn't give a fuck about you.
No, I know, and here's the honest answer. I was at a point, I'm looking at where my life was at a specific moment, and I'm like, I got clean because my life was unmanageable.
How many lines do you think they did before they started recording this pod? You can smell the sesh from here. How many fucking lines do you think these guys did before they press record? You can smell the sesh from fucking here.
Because I was in such a fucked up situation. I was like, there's no more moves to bust. You feel me? Like I felt like
you were like down to your last,
down to my last. You feel me? Like there's nothing else I can do. Let me hit the reset button right quick.
Yeah.
Really, to keep it a full stack, the bitch I was with was finna skate on me. You feel me? Like
it's always a bitch, bro.
Yeah, like so I was like, fuck it. Like maybe I could, because she had found like, you know, messages and whoopie wop.
Oh, you was talking to other bitches?
Yeah. Like she.
But like, listen, I don't know why girls be tripping off that. It's like, listen, I won't even link up. Like, you might see me say some crazy shit to a bitch. I ain't even about to link up.
I was just high as fuck chopping it
bro,
up.
That's what I'm like. Listen.
Be like,
this is, bro, girls do, okay, especially girls that don't do drugs.
Right.
I love that justification. That druggy kind of like, you know, understanding of the world. Why do girls have an issue with finding texts of me talking to other girls on my phone? Like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just high and I'm just horny. It's like, bruh, like, do you hear yourself? This is like similar to like when you go to an afters and people are there in the fucking house debating on how they can solve fucking Russia and Ukraine, on how they can end the fucking war in Gaza. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're pontificating about all these big world issues and you think you have all the answers as you're there and your jaws swinging, your pupils are dilated. Like, shut the fuck up, go to bed.
If you say that to them, if you say that to them, they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm like, "No, listen, like that was not me. Like that was horny on drugs. Me.
That's what I said.
Being, like
this is
fucking twacked out. Like that was that's not really. That was like, come on, bro. That's not even me.
But
gang.
like, but I was like, exactly. That wasn't me. I was possessed by this drug demon. You feel me?
Possessed by the drug horny demon.
So I got it. Like, but it was a multitude of reasons. But that's why I got clean. And then last
you got clean because he was texting the hoes.
No, I got clean for
the hoes got him clean. Is crazy.
Of course, though, that bitch was my lifeline at that time. You feel me? Like I had nothing
you fucked your
else,
lifeline off just being high and trying to like, trying to talk to other bitches. You could at least been high and just been fucking with her only.
It wasn't. Here's the thing. I was just fucking with her, but like one night, I was horny as fuck. You feel me?
Why you ain't hit her up?
I was yacked out, bruh.
Where was she at?
She was passed out asleep, like fucking. You feel me?
Oh, you was laying next to her?
She was like in the next room. You feel me? Like, and I go on.
You already with your bitch. Just post up with her.
Here's the thing, like.
This is already sounding kind of dark, isn't it? Like, this is already kind of sounding dark, but not an addict, not a problem, not an issue, right? This is already sounding kind of dark, but they started off saying, yeah, when I got sober, it wasn't a big issue. So, this sounds like a big issue. I'm not going to lie, this sounds like a big issue, but I could be reading too much into this.
You ever been like, as high as I was, I wasn't trying to fuck, you feel me? But I was like finna like jack off or whatever, you feel me? And I started talking to this bitch that I used to fuck with. We have a little freaky conversation.
A little freaky deaky.
Just so happened I left my Facebook messages open. She discovered that.
I got caught with one of those too, bro.
Yo, doing horny texts to somebody on Facebook Messenger on your laptop is insane. That's another level of freak shit. That's another level of horny. To be up all night texting on your big keypad of your computer and then forget it's open and then have the text box open there with all your fucking filth.
Like just faded as fuck. But you know what's crazy? I was saying shit to the homegirl that like it wasn't even.
And that's like low key could be like depends on who your bitch is. Like could be perceived as worse. Like
oh no, it was way worse. What do you mean, bro? It was 10 times worse. That it was somebody that I was trying to already convince this girl that I wasn't.
No, that's just the homegirl. Like
yeah, bro, she was not going, bro.
Now like I'm with my girlfriend now. You feel me? Like. She's Latina. I have no homegirls anymore. I
swear to God, I stopped answering all the homegirls.
No homegirls.
I don't even exist.
Lush has a girlfriend, by the way. All men out there, don't lose hope. AKADEMIKS is fucking some 21. For the guys that like young girls, AKADEMIKS is fucking some 21-year-old. And Lush has an actual girlfriend. A woman with a heartbeat and limbs is this guy's girlfriend. Don't lose hope, dudes. You're not ugly, you're just broke. Right? Fix up your bank account, get yourself a nice little stable job, decent haircut, wash a couple of times a week, maybe every day if you can, and you too can be fine. Because if these guys can get women, the only thing stopping you is just a lack of belief, maybe insecurities and shit. Get over it. Please get over it. Because if Lush and AKADEMIKS can have girlfriends and can have sexual partners, you can too. Especially if you're a good dude. Especially if you're a decent man, you too can have one. Because God almighty.
Like,
y'all don't even exist no more, gang. I fuck with y'all though. I fuck with y'all if I see y'all out in public and my bitch not around. I'm gonna say what's up.
It's love.
Nigga, I'm gonna give you a hug. I'm gonna dap you up. Nigga, we can even kick it. But guess what? Nigga, as soon as I leave, I'm do not disturbing and I'm not answering you.
I don't know you, brother.
I don't know you, twin. If I see you with my bitch outside, I'm Stevie Wonder. I don't know y'all.
Exactly. I'm Ray Charles.
I will walk by a whole group of bitches that I've known for 10 years. If I'm talking about my bitch, I don't know any of y'all.
I'm talking about bitches that I would like, quote unquote, air quote, kill or die for. Like my
I'm talking
homegirls,
about
like
these my
sandbox
niggas.
homegirls.
No,
Yeah,
but listen, but I got a couple of those homegirls that like it may not be like that.
Of course,
but I definitely maybe smacked once or twice back in the day. And listen,
How
I'm
you
not
think
gonna
we got
lie
back
about it. If you ask me, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna lie about it.
See, I made
I'm
that mistake already.
No.
Told the
That's
truth.
not a mistake. You gotta be honest. I'm gonna be like, that's like my homegirl, but I ain't gonna hold you. I might have fucked her once in like 2017, 2018. It's cool.
Hence, there's no more homegirls.
That's what I'm saying. But like they be acting like just because you fucked them once, that means that could never be the homegirl.
Nah.
So listen. So I've learned to avoid that altogether. I have no more homegirls.
That's the thing.
No more like
no homegirls.
If I got a bitch, no homegirls.
I'm not gonna lie. Now that I haven't been going out as much as I probably would like to, and I haven't been getting on it as much as I would probably like to, listening to high people talk is kind of wild. It's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm thinking to myself, rah, I must have sounded like this before. I must have sounded like this, and I'm thinking I sound incredible. I'm being funny, I'm being cool and shit. But really, you just sound like this. Fuck, bro. Fuck. I think I've sounded like this more often than I would like to admit. Just rambling about nonsense. Yeah, my girl, and yeah, my girl said, no, my bitch said, yeah, have it ever happened to you when, no, do you remember that time when, who said, yeah, my bitch said, no, what? Yeah, my girl, yeah, my girl, yeah, and what do you say? Yeah, my bitch, yeah. What? Guess what? Como? Like, what the fuck did you just say? Anyway, prayers to Lush One, prayers to his family, prayers to his mum going through Alzheimer's. I can't imagine how tough that must be. Hopefully he figures it out. Probably won't, mid-40s guy already at this stage. Not gonna, if it hasn't clicked now, it's never gonna click. But prayers and thoughts and feelings go out to his mum. Hopefully she has a decent side of it. Hopefully something works out. Who knows? But yeah. That was a tough one, bro. That was a tough one. That was a fucking tough one. That was a fucking tough one, isn't it? So let's break up a little bit. Do you want to see a really angry man? You want to see a really angry man? You want to see a really angry man? Angry man. You want to see it? Angry man. You want to see one? You bet you guessed it. Angry man. Here we go.
Now, in reality, it's funny because, by the way, how about this? I don't know what the fuck idiots are talking about with memes and shit. Oh, it's like, he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't follow your dumb fucking memes. So take your meme and shove it up your fucking ass, because I have the ability to make an observation that's factually fucking based. Just because I'm Darkside Phil doesn't mean I get to ignore fucking facts that the characters in this game are going through what I go through on a daily fucking basis. Shut the fuck up. I'm not taking your shit. I don't care who the fuck it is. There's people in the chat right now. Oh, he's doing a meme. Oh, this is cringe. Shut the fuck up and eat it. Eat it. Give me your mailing address. I want to mail you a spoon so you can eat shit out of my fucking ass. I'm tired of people saying that because I am who I am, I can't say a factual observation. It's a fucking fact that the characters in that game are going through what I have factually gone through on a daily fucking basis for years. So shut the fuck up. I am not putting up with any of this shit ever again. You're going to tell me I can't make a factual observation? How about you kiss my fucking ass and lick my balls? Yeah. And I'm fucking pissed about it. Because I see this shit. Oh, he can't say that. Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
I can't say a fact? What fucking world do we live in that I can't say a fucking fact, bitch? Kiss my fucking ass. Enough is enough with this shit. Yeah, King be cruel. King be bitch. You're gonna say dumb shit like that in fucking chat, and everyone else who said that too, because people in the comments, all my haters saying it in their videos. So now we know what you're watching every fucking day, right?
Right?
You dumb fuck. Shut the fuck up. No one cares about your bitch ass opinions. There's facts, there's reality, and then there's your bullshit world that you live in on the internet where you circle jerk each other with your conspiracy and your nonsense, and no one fucking cares about you except your circle jerking community. The problem is there's too many of you. There's too many fucking idiots. And enough is enough with this shit. It's time to call it out. Just because I'm one of the most abused people on the internet doesn't mean I don't get to make a factual observation. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and you like it, or you shut the fuck up.
Tough guy.
Now, you got a problem with that? Test me, bitch. Because I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm not. I'm not going to have people come in here on my streams and in fucking other videos and say, oh, he's just, oh, look, I'm like him just like me and him. Shut the fuck up. No one even knows what you're talking about. I've never even heard the meme before because I'm not an asshole. I'm not a fucking dumbass, mouth-drooling idiot. I don't follow the dunces follow on the internet. It's my life I'm talking about. Right? And it's true. Follow the plot of this game. This is exactly what I've gone through. I've lost tons of business opportunities. I've lost the ability to branch out on the internet as a content creator.
He's so mad.
Tons of people, hundreds of thousands of people will never check out my content because all they hear is conspiracies about me. Right?
Right?
What they'll do is now they'll take this actual
clip
segment of my podcast out of context and just show, look, Phil abuses his viewers by swearing at them. Instead of actually showing the reason I'm doing it. That people are mistreating me, that people are being horrible to me and my family and everyone else. And then when I finally call it out, oh my God, look, in the game it's happening just like what happened with me. Oh, that's so cringe that he would say that. He'd think he's such a big egotistical. Egotistical? How is it ego-fucking-tistic? To state a fact. You fucking buffoon. You are so dumb. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean that when they state a fact, the fact is wrong. That means you're an idiot. You understand? There are a lot of people on this planet I don't like, but they say true things sometimes, and you better wise the fuck up and listen. Or shut up about it, because no one cares about you and your drama community on the internet. There is an entire culture of stuff on the internet based on this level of hatred, based on this level of hearsay and tabloid bullshit, and it's ruining people's lives, and mine is one of them. There is literally no fucking reason whatsoever that I should not be in the Twitch partner program. Zero. I never did a damn thing to deserve that treatment. But a campaign of slander was held against me, and those idiots at Twitch, as unprofessionally stupid as they fucking are, said, oh, we don't want to deal with this drama, so we'll just remove him from the partner program. We won't ban him from the site, because I literally didn't do anything wrong. But as we remove him from the program, now we have no liability. People keep complaining about this guy, right? So, yeah, it's happened to me 100% completely. By the way, it's on Kiwi Farms. When they did it years ago, they posted up all around Kiwi Farms about it. All the evidence was always there. It's on people want to ignore it. When there's evidence of all the horrible things that have happened to me, oh, that doesn't exist. That never happened. No. But anytime that I do something even slightly wrong, oh, here you go. Here's all the evidence of everything Phil's ever done wrong in his 15 plus years on the internet. That's not how it fucking works. That's not fair. You're a bunch of bitches. Every one of you is a little coward.
Cowards.
Really. You're all nobodies. The people who do that shit. You're fucked up. You're broken in the fucking head. Every one of you bitch-ass content creators out there. Well, all you do is talk shit about people all day and you call it the news. You're the most worthless humans on Earth. Right now, if you all had fingers snapped away by Thanos, no one would care. You're all replaceable. Every one of you has nothing to add completely to this planet. Nothing positive. You're nothing but a blight on the fucking planet. You're a big hemorrhoid on all of our fucking asses.
That's not nice.
You're trying to make a positive living and help people on this planet. You're the problem. Not us, the ones who you abuse. You're the fucking problem.
He poked
Get it?
himself there.
If you go away, the world's a better
Good
place. I want you to think about
What about
that.
you? Whoa, tough guy swig. Tough guy swig.
Now,
Now,
I'm allowed to say whatever the fuck
I
I want.
want.
Especially when it's facts. All right? The plot of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is incredibly similar to my life in that regard. The main characters are harassed by people on the internet, made up slander campaigns. They have no means to defend themselves, and now their whole world is in shambles.
Just like me,
and that's what the plot's going to be, is exploring what are they going to do to try to figure out what really happened. Where did the misinformation come from? Can they figure it out, right?
Just like me.
Now, I'm willing to bet that the rest of the game is not going to be a lengthy court case where they sue the parties for slander or defamation or whatever it may be, because I always get those two confused.
Anyway,
right? I'm going to guess.
You get the gist of it. You get the gist of it. You get the gist of it. DSP went on a long, unhinged rant during one of his streams because he got basically taken a piss out of because he was playing a Yakuza game. And in the plot of a Yakuza game, there's a section where one of the main characters gets kind of quote unquote cancelled online or something. And for some reason, DSP, the fucking consummate narcissist, the primo narcissist, decided that the plot of Yakuza was completely, that section was completely based on his life. Not that it was similar to what he went through, that they must have seen what he's gone through or something. It's fucking insane. It was like for like when it obviously wasn't. And obviously people called him out for it, right? Main character syndrome, he's just like me for real meme. And he doesn't understand internet memes. And something that I've seen with DSP is that he's very self-conscious about his lack of intelligence. And he's also very self-conscious that he's not very plugged into like internet culture, into like memes and shit. He doesn't know what's going on. So he gets really offended when people say stuff in his chat that he doesn't know. So when somebody said, "Oh my God, this is cringe," he's just like me for real in the chat. He didn't know what they were talking about, but it just annoyed him because he didn't know what they're talking about. And he went on this unhinged rant. That's basically what he went on. Someone said a very innocuous throwaway comment about you're being cringe, and DSP went on this like, insult-laden fucking rant. It was fucking incredible, honestly. The fact that he can't pronounce for real and said it for was my best bit. I'll see if I can find it. Where is it? I think it's like 11, right? He says fr. Instead of saying for real, he said fr. Let's see if I now move on. Can I see it? He says fr.
Like a Dragon, showing things out of context, not representative of what's going on or who the people actually are, but making shit up for drama's sake, and now they lost their jobs because of it. And I'm like, dude, this is my fucking life. This is exactly what happens to me on a daily basis.
See if I can find it.
I have stalkers on the internet who just make shit up.
See if I can find it. I think it's around here.
They've never substantiated their claims of anything that they've said in these things that are...
Hold on 1 second.
Later, I contact someone who actually worked...
Let's see. I think it's around here. Is it 6 minutes?
Bad moments of my history. A lot...
Was it here? Or it's here?
Made this edited, here's the
Maybe
worst to fill, and presented it to
Twitch
as if, look, this is a guy right now who's on your site in your partner program, but, look at all the things he's done, but it's not truthful. Number one, it's all stuff out of context. Number two, it's stuff that's outdated. I don't do that kind of risque commentary. Some of this stuff was stuff from 10 years ago before that I haven't done since, and I had publicly apologized.
I want to see the for a bit. Right? Let me see the for a bit, and then we move on. Please, for a bit.
YouTube just allows slander campaigns.
Is that 7 minutes? Let's see. For. Come on, for. Give me for. Give me for.
Personal gain. It's insane. Now, in reality, it's funny because,
here we go. Here we go.
By the way, how about this? I don't know what the fuck idiots are talking about with memes and shit. Oh, it's like, he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
You hear that?
I don't follow your dumb fucking memes.
You hear that?
So take your meme and shove it up your fucking ass, because I have the ability to make an observation that's factually
One more time.
Absolutely no concrete evidence of it all. But they say shit all the time. All these crazy conspiracies they come up with, and YouTube allows it. YouTube just allows slander campaigns for personal gain. It's insane. Now, in reality, it's funny because, By the way, how about this? I don't know what the fuck idiots are talking about with memes and shit. Oh, it's like he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't follow your dumb fucking memes and shit. Oh, it's like he's just like me. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't follow your dumb fucking memes. So take your meme and shove it up your fucking.
Look at that mouth. Look at that mouth. Look at that fucking mouth, man. Look at that fucking mouth. Look at that fucking. Look at that fucking border. Look, he's so redacted, isn't it? Literally redacted, honestly. The bit, you know, the little fucking 3-bit artworks. Oh, no, honestly. You gotta love DSP. 41 years old. Gotta love him. Supreme locale. Anyway, let's end it with some chin stuff. Let's end the stream with some chin stuff. So, Chin has been getting some love on the Reddit. So I thought I would play some clips of people reacting to stuff that he was doing. I think the one I want to play is actually the Primo one about him cooking some burger thing. Is it a pizza or a burger? I think I've got it here. The pizza burger. This is the pizza burger one. Because this one is fucking... yeah, something.
I'm going to show you guys how I make a...
This is something. This is something, right? We see Chin here cooking a pizza burger, aka a pizza burger. Let's see what he's doing. This is old too. This is from 5 years ago. Okay? 5 years ago, Chin.
Burger from pizza. First of all, I bought Joe's Pizza here in downtown Los Angeles. I just got a pepperoni pizza, and this is called a grandma slice.
Is this equivalent of like one of those things that you would deem to be a bit psychotic? Who goes and buys 2 pizza slices? Have you ever done that? You just go and buy 2 slices of pizza. Is that a thing? Like, maybe it's one thing if you're out and about, but would you buy 2 pizza slices to bring back home to eat? You're only going to eat 2. Only 2. To bring back home. That's very disciplined. I want either a half or a full pizza. I'm not going to bring back 2. Well, maybe I'm just fat. Maybe I'm fucking big back. Maybe this is my big back genetics talking. I can't picture a scenario where I would only need 2 slices of pizza. maybe I've exposed myself in that regard.
Probably eat some of the toppings I did already, and then I'm just going to use a portion of each slice for the buns. I bought this at the market. It's just ground beef burgers, 100% beef, 20% fat. If you got a particular beef you like, go for that, but this is just me trying to grab something real quick so I can make a burger. Since I bought the patties frozen, I just took one out, microwaved one.
Why are you microwaving frozen patties?
Single patty on a plate for 1 minute, which is perfect. I'll turn it to high for the pan, and then once it gets hot enough to where I can feel it right around here, then I'll just drop a pat of butter on it. All right, so the pan is not.
So we're gonna fry our burger in butter that we just put in a microwave. That's frozen. That was frozen prior. Fucking hell.
Nice and hot from here. I can feel it. I'm gonna turn it down to about 7 on a.
Have you ever met an Asian person that cooks more like a frat boy than fucking Chin? He's far removed from being in college, and he's very far from white, but he cooks like a frat boy. It's absolutely diabolical. I've never met a single Asian person in my life that cooks like this. Every Asian person I've met in my life, no matter where they're from, in fucking Asia, they can at least order really good food or they can cook really good food. But they don't eat like this. This is some trap house eating.
An electric grill. Not sure how that is for you guys, but I have this Kerrygold butter ready.
Has that butter been up his ass or something? Why is it? Has that butter been up his ass? Like, why does it look so like? I don't know.
Just take a little slab of it, just that much, Not that.
You know what? I'm surprised you didn't put that in the microwave too. I'm surprised you didn't put the butter in the microwave. Oh, the butter's too hard, so I put that in the microwave for 30 seconds. Everything fucking goes in the microwave.
Much at all. And let that melt in. You don't actually need butter because the patty has enough fat in it, but this is just to add a little bit more flavor.
So you don't need butter, but you put butter on it anyway. This is like British level of cooking, isn't it? Us people in Britain, we love a bit of butter. If anyone that has watched the fucking British Bake Off or any kind of British-based cooking show will know, British people, we love butter. We love a good, I think in America, you have it too, right? A stick of butter. So maybe that's why he's doing it. You don't need the butter, but let's add the butter anyway. Cool.
Butter flavor to the patty. Do all this. Just make sure that butter gets around the pan. And I would say pick it up to about 8. I'm gonna just slide this patty in.
With all the blood.
That's blood.
Oh. So you kind of take away all the benefits of butter by pouring all the fucking frozen beef patty juice into the frying pan along with the blood.
Blood, by the way. On the fan.
Of course, now there's loads of smoke coming out because he's poured water into a fucking frying pan. So it's probably all loads of smoking out. It doesn't need to be. He could just easily picked up the patty with his fork or with his hands and placed it softly on the frying pan. And none of that would have happened. And lowered the heat, of course. But hey.
Bring it towards the middle. So after 2.5 to 3 minutes, flip it over. Pick up all that good fat and butter.
There's no more fat left there. Again. There's nothing more left there.
After 2 minutes, take it off the grill. I like to spread it around to pick up all of the butter and the fat, the grease.
I heard you already.
And then drop onto the plate. And it's gonna sit for maybe 5 minutes. I'm Korean, so we use scissors, heavy-duty scissors to cut food, which is...
What? I'm Korean, so you use scissors. What do other people use? Their hands. What? Only Korean people use scissors in kitchens. I'm Korean, we use scissors. Okay.
Is super efficient. Don't hate on it. I'll cut my... Man, we have no light here. Let me get some light. All right, got some light here. So what we do is... Let me get it next to the camera here. I want buns for this burger, so let's go ahead and cut it this way.
So he went to a really good pizza place to order pizza that he's just going to cut into circles to use as buns for his burger. Why not just buy regular burger buns? Or why not just buy shitty pizzas, like cheese and tomato ones, and then just cut the bun out of that? Why do you have to go and ruin nice pizza to make buns for a burger? And why would anybody want this shit? This is like Instagram food, isn't it? Like the stuff that with it's all got cheese and you're like putting it up in the sky. Like it's just like it's nonsense. So who wants this shit? Why are you ruining great pizza to make honestly?
Like that. And then I'll square it off like this. Boom.
He's showing us how to cut a pizza into squares. Yo, this content he deserves to be put in jail for this content. Showing us how to cut a pizza so that it can fit as a burger bun is fucking diabolical.
That is a nice bun with pepperoni and cheese on it. Yummy. And then this bun is called a grandma slice. I'll do the same thing. Cut around here. Let's cut off this whole crust. I'll enjoy that crust later. And then I'll start making it into a square now. Like cutting this. That you could use as a mini pizza. And then doing this.
Oh my god, he can't even cut. He can't even cut properly and not fuck up the fucking.
So now I have some pizza scraps, and I can use these two top and bottom bun, or top and bottom bun this way. And it's not over yet. I'm gonna put this same pan after I cleaned it. I'm gonna set this guy to about 5 on an electric grill. Let it heat up for about, I don't know, 3 minutes. Then I'm gonna spray this pan butter spray.
More butters. More butter. So why you just use the butter? Like, why is it now spray? Why not the... Okay.
And from there, I'm gonna add the pizza slices that I just cut up into squares for my...
The perfectly cooked pizzas from the store are now gonna be fried on butter to heat
burger buns. I just put some light on there. So anyways, what that's gonna do is make the crust...
Oh yeah, you put light on there because we couldn't see it before, could we? We couldn't see the pizzas before. We couldn't see it. Look at the difference with the light. Look at the difference, guys. We couldn't see the pizzas on the frying pan on top of sprayed butter. He added light. Now
my
look
burger
at
buns. I just put some light.
Now we can see the pieces, right? Now we can definitely see them. We couldn't see them before. Look, we couldn't see them. Literally, they didn't exist.
Slices that I just cut
They
up
weren't
into
there.
squares
Look.
for
Cover your eyes.
my
Look, they
burger
weren't there.
buns. I just put some
Now
light
they're
on
there.
there. So anyways, what that's gonna do is make the crust nice and crispy, but the inside will be
What a fucking
warm
redneck.
and soft and gooey, which is what you want for a nice, delicious, thin crust burger bun. And it will have all the good stuff from the pizza, which is pepperoni, cheese, the tomato sauce, this stuff. This is like...
You didn't cook any of this stuff. Why are you talking like you did anything, man? This is fucking... what you call it? This is a pizza shop stolen valor, bruv. You didn't cook the pizza. Why are you acting like you cooked it?
Different kind of tomato sauce, different kind of cheese. I'll leave this on for about 5 minutes, and then I'll turn the grill off. So it'll just be nice and warm and crispy still, but it won't overcook. And while the pizza crust is starting to crisp up, get these bad boys.
Oh no, here comes Chin on the fucking cooking. Fucking hell, bro. That's a fucking face, isn't it? That's a face only a mother could love. Look at that grill. Look at that angle. Look at him. Look at that guy. Look at the angle of him. Look at the angle. I'm gonna brighten my screen so I can see that. Look at that. Look at that face, bro. That's a face only a mother could love. Holy shit.
A fresh tomato and fresh onion, and start slicing those up.
I love how he keeps saying fresh. I love these words he uses. A fresh tomato and a fresh onion. What does that even mean? Like he grew them himself on his balcony. He grew the onion and the tomato on his balcony, right? These are some onions and tomatoes I've been growing on my second balcony. Oh God, a fresh tomato and a fresh onion. Straight from the balcony farm.
At the moment, I only have a steak knife, so I'm gonna use this to cut the onion up.
Of course. One of the most infuriating bits about Chin is this. He's probably got 10 grand worth of camera equipment set up now, filming him record this nonsense, right? 10 grand worth of equipment. But he doesn't own a sharp knife that isn't a, a steak knife to cut his vegetables with. Like, how is that even possible? You've got fucking 20 grand worth of camera equipment around you. Sennheiser microphones, 17 other fucking tripods, cameras out of the wazoo, a standing desks, the latest computers and shit, but you don't have a decent set of knives. Come on.
That side first. Cut that side next. Peel off the outer skin.
Oh really? I didn't know you did do that.
And since I want the onions nice and round, I'll just cut it this way.
Oh really? That's how you do it when you want it round. I didn't know that.
I'll Ziploc the rest for later. Tomato. Remove the sticker. Start cutting.
Remove the sticker. Remove the sticker before you cut, guys. Keep in mind, if you got fresh tomatoes, remove the sticker before you cut when you have your fresh tomatoes. Don't forget, you can't cut a fresh tomato without removing the sticker.
Slices. I'll just have 2 thin slices of tomato for it.
Don't know about thin, mate. They look kind of thick to me.
Snack on this on the side.
Snack on the tomato on the
And
side.
I'll Ziploc these guys.
What was that about? What was that about? What was that? Why did you leave that in?
And then I'll Ziploc these guys.
Why did you leave that in? What is wrong with him? He's a fucking Rogan. What is wrong with him? He's not real. What was that? Was that a move? Was that a dance? What was that?
And then I'll Ziploc these guys. Alright. Once these are done, get them off the grill, put them onto the plate. Oops, not like that.
Don't you have fucking tongs to pick up your shit? Don't you have tongs? Don't you have a fork? Even your hands to pick up the stuff? Why do you have to throw it on like that? Where's the fucking care for your food, bro? Like just flipping the fry, like.
Put them onto the plate.
What is this?
Not like that.
This makes me so angry. This makes me so fucking angry.
This is good. Turn this guy around. There's the burger. There's the buns.
The burger's been sitting there for like half an hour. Cool.
And I'm gonna use this pan now for the onions. So turn the heat back up to high.
More butter.
Give it time to warm up. Still not hot yet. But before I add the onions on, what I want to do is grab another slab of butter.
Yo, frying onions in butter is a decision.
Decent amount right there. Slap it on the pan. Mix it around.
He's gonna fry the onions and the tomato in butter, right?
Get a little more warm here. Grab the onions that I just cut up. Slap it on. This is way more onions than I'm gonna actually eat on the burger, but
why are you making more of them?
You know, why not just cook it? It smells great too. Butter and onions, try it. I just turned on the fan, and there's no real time I can give you guys for this because I use an electric grill. I'm not sure how it is with
the fuss. How many views does this have? 12,000. The fuss, 12,000. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do something. This dog shit vlog, this dog shit recipe, cooking tutorial, whatever it is, this fucking guidebook to redactness has 12k views. Don't let anybody tell you can't do something. The only thing that's impossible is outside, anything outside the laws of physics. Anything else is not impossible. You can do it too.
With a flame grill, open flame grill, but just keep watching it. I would say a good 2 to 3 minutes, and then you can start flipping it. So I'm gonna start flipping this. That's how it looks.
Exactly, 7:30. This is hangover food. But when's the last time you cooked yourself a hangover meal, like I've done in previous times, where you just fucking chucked a bunch of fucking shit you find in the fridge into, 2 bits of fucking bread and you stuffed it in your mouth? When's the last time you had a desire to film that and to share it with people on social media? Never. I have. It's just shit food. You're just trying to, to sustain yourself. It's not for the consumption of the world because it's terrible fucking food for the most part, and it's not going to make good content. But this guy has this weird, idea that people need to see this. Holy shit.
That might be a little too early, but I also don't want the onions to be like overly grilled. I want it to be crispy and crunchy too.
You don't want it to be overly grilled yet. One's already burning at the top there. You want it
That's
to be
good.
crunchy.
It's a little brown. Look at that. Look at this little guy. Looks like a heart. Doesn't it? Come on.
It looks like a heart. Yo, he needs to call somebody, man. he's falling in love with the onions. He needs to call somebody. Maybe a lady of the night or something, bro.
There we go. I'll turn off the grill from this point on. Let it cook a little bit longer. All right. Take the onions off the grill. Put on this brand new plate. Smaller plate.
Just pour stuff into plates. No picking up, no nothing.
Just so it doesn't overcook. Looks nice and golden brown here. Sorry about the shadow.
Yeah, well, put more light in it. Put a light in it.
Clean up the pan.
You're gonna put the sauce on there, isn't it?
And what we're left with now is the original patty that I cooked. I got the pepperoni pizza bun. I got the grandma sliced bun. I got the grilled onions. I got the fresh tomatoes, the butter I'm gonna put away right now. Here's what we have. Onions, grilled onions, not like overly grilled, just grilled enough to where it still has some crunch to it. I've got my patty.
How long is this
pepperoni
taking?
pizza,
Everything is
pizza.
cold now.
I cut it up to where they could be buns, and these are thin crust. Fresh tomatoes over here. And
Hurry
do not
up,
ever
bro.
forget the mayo.
Mayonnaise.
This is my favorite.
Mayonnaise. That's an interesting decision, isn't it? Fucking hell. Surely you won't even need to use any sauce because the pizza's already got the sauce on it, innit? Or if you want to maybe add more tomato, no? Would you really need to add sauce anyway? If you're already using the pizza as buns, wouldn't they have already tomato sauce on them? Or maybe you could add something, I don't know.
Favorite mayo. You can choose whatever mayo you like, but it's a huge difference. So, oh wait. Sorry, the fan was still on. So what I do from this point on, you know what? Pepperoni sounds like a...
Let's hear that lovely fan one more time. Sorry, the fan is... Let's hear that fan.
You can choose whatever mayo you like.
The extractor fan has been on the whole time.
But it's a huge difference, so... Oh wait. Sorry, the fan was still on. So what I do from this point on...
The things he keeps in his edit is fucking astonishing. The things he keeps in his edit.
You know what? Pepperoni sounds like a good bottom, right? So I put the
good bottom, yeah.
patty on that pepperoni bun. Move this guy over to the side.
How much effort does it take to put all that shit in? Just hurry up, bro. How long is this taking? You still got like 10 minutes left or something. How long does it take to put a bit of fucking frozen burger patty between two pizzas? How long?
I'll grab one of those fresh tomatoes. I'll grab this thin slice, put it on top.
Thin. That's a
onion.
A thin slice. Isn't it the same slice? Isn't that the same thickness as the burger? He thinks that's thin. That's the same thickness as the burger. A thin slice of tomato. What? That's the same thickness as the burger patty. Holy shit.
On top of that. And like I said, I'll make extra of everything, and I probably won't use it, but then I'll eat it. I'll nibble it on the side.
Yeah, yeah, of course you will. As a what? As a side. You're just gonna nibble like butter covered fucking paraboiled looking onion rings on the side. That's what you're gonna do. That's the most redacted shit I've seen in my life. Non-seasoned, covered in fucking fridge butter that's probably been in there since like 7 months ago. Like, oh, yowzers. Dios míos, bro.
Eat the burger. And then, the most important part, or to me the most important part, the mayo.
On the onions.
This might be gross to some of you, but this is my favorite thing. On top of the onions.
You couldn't even put the mayo at the bottom. You had to put them on top of the onions. Just for extra grossness, right? Cool. No worries. Sure, it tastes lovely.
And tomato. Like that. To the point where, look at this. The knife is covered in mayo even on the handle.
Why is that something to be
like that?
Why is that a good thing? You didn't. Hold on. Why is he acting like this happened organically? Didn't you put the? Hold on. Why is he acting like this happened? You know, out of nowhere. Didn't you put the knife in the fucking jar?
Like that. To the point where, look at this. The knife is covered in mayo even on the handle.
But didn't you do that? Why is he surprised? When you stick the whole knife in the jar because the mayo's finished because you've been drinking, like, isn't that what happens? Sometimes why is he acting like?
All right, like that. And then usually, if I have a burger, I'll slap a slice of cheese on it. But since we have both the bottom layer and the top layer with cheese, different kinds of cheese too, and pepperoni and tomato sauce, all this good stuff.
How long does this take?
Just slap this on top.
How long does this take?
And look at that. You got a delicious thin crust pizza burger. I almost forgot about the lettuce. A fresh leaf of lettuce. I would not normally choose this one. This is all I had. So if you have iceberg lettuce, definitely do that. And then I'm gonna cut this just so I get the crispy part of the lettuce.
And you're gonna put that on top of the mayo covered with onions.
Slap that on top. Grab another, like near the center of the lettuce.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. He has defecated. He has demolished. He has annihilated. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? This is famous. This is like his house got blown up or something. His house got blown up. His house got blown up. Oh my god. What the fuck is this? His house got blown up. He ruined his Joe's Pizza for this. Joe's Pizza did not deserve this. Joe's Pizza deserved better than this. Oh my god, bro. Oh, my eyes are leaking. So is my nose. Everything is leaking right now. Oh, I can't take this, bro. I can't take this. Oh my god, bro. I can't take this. I can't take this. What is this, man? Wow.
Grab that. Cover it up. Boom. Okay, so I don't have a freaking...
Look at that background, bro. Can you get more fucking divorced dad than this? The guitar in the reflection. Like, look at how sad that room is. Like, you can tell there's not been a woman's touch in there or what. Like, look at this, bro. Look at that. Fucking hell, Chin.
Freaking kitchen table here. No chairs, so I'm gonna do it like this. My favorite soda right now. Grape Zevia.
I love that he didn't show us bit before he opened it. That's kind of a bit tismy, isn't it? Don't you find that interesting? My favorite soda, but he opened it before he showed us. He kind of covered it up. He didn't want to show us before he opened it. His bad luck. He had to cover it up. They find it odd. Naturally, the first thing you want to do is like show it to the camera and then open it. Why did he like Cover it.
Like this. My favorite soda right
He
now.
hit it. Look, opened it, and then he showed us.
Grape Zevia.
Of course, he wants to. He doesn't want. Doesn't want the calories and shit. He doesn't want to drink a regular grape juice, so he gets a grape Zevia. But then he has this on his table, on his plate. Chin, definitely has some sort of eating disorder in it. He doesn't want to get fat from the juice, but then he eats that. It's like, what? Low fat stevia grape juice, 0 calories, but whatever.
Let's try this out. You know what, I forgot? Egg, but I think maybe that might be too much right now.
He was gonna put a fried egg in that. In between 2 pizza patties, a frozen burger thing, onion rings that look like they're white, fresh tomatoes, mayonnaise, and then an egg. How much butter does he want? How is he not alive? How is he still alive? How does he not have diabetes?
I know. Focusing in on that?
Why? It doesn't matter, bro. It does not matter. This doesn't help. Nothing here looks good. From the color of your hands to the thing. Look at the eye. Look at the eye in the background. He's always looking. Look at the eye in the background. Look at this fucking psycho. Look at him. Look at that eye. Look at that psycho. Here, have a bite. Have a bite. Bite, have it. What the fuck, man?
Let's see if I can focus this guy. Anyhow, that's the burger.
Can you hear the crunch of the onions? They haven't been cooked. They sound raw. Can you hear him chewing the onions? They sound raw. Can you hear it? You can hear the onions. They're not being cooked properly. Can you hear the onions? The onions are raw. Look at that. Look, he's questioning his life choices. Yo, oh my god, bro. This man is not human. When she comes, she had a good time. When she says, I'm coming, I'm coming. When she... Oh shit. When she says I'm 5 minutes away. Oh, my fucking chest. My fucking chest is killing me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh really? Song title NSYNC, written and performed by me. Produced by Byron Acosta. Oh really? We were so we're so eager to find out who did that. Thanks for letting us know, Chin. Thanks for letting us know, bro. We were like on the edge of our seats. We didn't know who did that song. So thanks for letting us know. But Jesus Christ, man, what a horror show. What an undeniable, absolute horror show that was. Written and performed by me. Oh, fucking hell, man. The butter, look at that. All that butter, bro. On that big frying pan for that one small burger patty. Oh, God. Anyways. I need to get more like Chin. That's what I need to do. I need to get more like Chin. I need to stop fucking around and get more like Chin. Anyways, guys, I can't do anymore. I'm fucking dead. I'm tired. I'm finished. I'm absolutely brutalized. I've been rinsed. I've been cleaned. I've been finessed. You know, after listening to or after reading out Vince McMahon's fucking sexting clips and shit, and seeing Chin make that revolting pizza burger thing, I think I'm absolutely done. I'm done. I'm finished. Thank you for joining me. Random Show episode number, what was it? 190. Appreciate you all. If you've liked the stream, make sure you like it down below. If you enjoyed the stream, like it down below. And obviously, I'll put timestamps later on so you can click around if you want to watch it after the fact. There'll also be an updated Discord link for you to check out. Make sure you also check out the Patreon for my new episode on there. Link in the description. And yeah, man, thank you for tuning in. Nothing more to add there. Nothing more to add there. If you're thinking about having a pizza burger, please don't. Just order a nice pizza, or maybe order just a nice burger. But that pizza burger thing is revolting. Don't do it yourself. Thank you for joining in. Big up Mike Johnson, NJ Ranger, Jared Melarek, my guy, Space Guy, Crash, The Fuss, Matt Rizze, Cool Guy Club, big up. Z, big up. Ryan Joseph, big up. NJ Ranger, my G, 7 Dirty, Pre-Ban for Loco, Tom, big up you, and everybody else in between. Dr. Chow, the Mega, I see ya. Go, Space Guy, I think I already said. Everybody, thank you for joining in. Appreciate you. Peace out. And maybe this is the last time we get to say, what's up, Dallas? What's up, Dallas?